September, and here we are in football season. Welcome in. I'm Drew Wilson, broadcasting live from the all-new Iron Jock Studios, built by Reamer Remodel, and I am joined by KB.
What is going on, brother man?
Well, we've got Hunter Baumgart here, our erstwhile producer and Brewers correspondent, and we begin with the news of the day that people really want to know is how close did Hunter come to being injured,
did he get airtime?
Decapitated by a foul ball yesterday in the press box at American Family Field. Oh, the drama. Oh, the humanity. Hunter Baumgart, set the scene for us. What happened yesterday in the press box?
I don't think I got airtime because I never got any pictures of of myself.
Anyone sent it to you?
I think
you were on TV,
right,
like when you were in Kansas City. Was it Seattle?
Yes, Seattle. And then there was one recently where it foul ball somewhere in the press box, and so I got a ton of texts. I don't think that happened, but a lot of people were checking on me, which I appreciate. I'm sure people in the crowd watch that foul ball, watch it go 2 inches from my laptop and hit a full cup of water, which then splashed into the air and all over my laptop and everything. I do, and the laptop is okay, and it's still working today, which is wonderful. I was able to dry it off, and thanks to everybody from Stephen Watson getting me napkins to different people getting all sorts of help.
Were you sitting by him, or did he come over
he
from
came
the
down?
Oh, he's a third row guy.
Oh, he's a third row guy. That's what I was saying. And Hunter's down on the rail.
That's the kind of guy that Watson.
And I was
gentleman.
like, wow, you must have some serious cred in that press box that they're coming from all. Not that I'm surprised that you wouldn't with as much as you're out there, but.
Sure.
Get a TV guy come over and, with a beat
Made
slap
sure
like you,
right.
with a radio slap like you.
Here the kid is working on Labor Day, trying to do a gajillion things at once, including, planning for the week's Drew and KB festivities. And, then a foul ball comes screaming. Now, who hit it, Hunter? Do you know who hit it?
Oh, my gosh. I don't even know if I remember. I don't even remember the rest of the inning.
Was it a Phillies player or was it
was a Phillies player. I remember that.
So it's easier to forget.
Yeah, it was a Phillies player. But yeah, bounced right next to me, and then it bounced up and back over into the crowd. So I didn't get the excitement of throwing it to a kid or anything like that.
There's no heroes when it comes to press box foul balls. It's all about survival. And rule number 1, Hunter, protect your laptop at all costs.
Yeah.
Because there was a game, Brewers Cubs, as I recall, that someone in the second row got a screamer back there and shattered their laptop. And I was working at the Journal Sentinel at the time, and we had an intern at the game, and it shattered the laptop of a Chicago Tribune reporter. And I made our intern give the guy his laptop so that he could file his column, because the intern wasn't doing anything that important. And we had to help a guy out. So yeah, there's no heroics. You don't get paid any extra, or you might make it on the broadcast or Sports Center if you catch it. But the degree of difficulty on that when it comes screaming, and especially if you look up late, I always just get out of the way, let it hit the wall behind me, pick it up and hand it to a kid. But always, always, always protect the laptop and any drinks. The fact that it hit your drink and splash.
Yeah.
Water is fine, if that goes, because that's abundant. But drinks, but you don't drink. But that's definitely gotta
cocktail will.
You gotta save the cocktail.
It'll be different. But yeah, we're glad that worked out, Hunter, that you're okay. And that you got some notoriety for it.
Were you not paying it? Was it a surprise? Were you looking the other way?
For some reason, I couldn't pick it up till it was late. I knew it was coming in the general direction. Then I thought it was going to be just to my right. And so then at the last second, I realized, no, that's coming basically straight at me. So I got out of the way. It wouldn't have hit me, because if it would have been trajectory, if it would have been right on line with me, it would have hit my laptop. But I didn't get a good read on it till the very last second.
Those balls come screaming. They got backspin. They got that backspin because the way, and for it to come that far, it's usually howling. It's part of the tour where they show the drywall that's damaged in the press box from foul balls screaming back there, and not many of them are caught, despite Kurt Hogue and Jack Stern having a net.
Right.
And Hunter, it's like Hunter didn't make that play. And he's with us now, and they're getting ready for the annual Pud Galvin Cup, where media members take on the Brewers PR and front office staff in a softball marathon this evening at Hellfair Field. And the manager of the media team told me that Hunter will be missed today. So Hunter, we appreciate you working with us.
Hunter, you're not playing,
absolutely.
Huh? What time is the game?
It conflicts with the show. It starts right at 6. So
yeah, you got to be warmed up and ready to go.
Yeah. Oh hell, we'll let you go.
Well,
no, we won't.
Okay, no, we won't.
No, we won't. Absolutely not. All right, enough indulgence. We got a lot of ground to cover today.
Do we ever?
It's a huge day. It's
big.
Like we said, it's football season and Labor Day. It's a great respite. It's an underrated holiday. I didn't do anything of I didn't almost get hit by a foul ball. I just went and enjoyed a cookout with family, and that was spectacular. So I had a fantastic weekend, and now we're ready. And this week's going to be short, which is good because we've got a football feast on Thursday at Buffalo Wild Wings, first of the year at South 27th Street in Milwaukee. We've got, Packers and Lions, followed by Packers Commanders in short order. Got Badgers in Middle Tennessee. We got a lot of stuff cooking this week. It's going to be fabulous. I'm very excited because we've reached that point of the calendar. Delicious overlap, Indian summer, whatever you want to call it, where you get the convergence of almost the sports equinox, where you got football rumbling into action after the longest off season. You got baseball hitting the postseason pennant drives. Brewers getting a much needed day off today. Before we dive into like buying and selling with Urchel Real Estate, who needed the day off more? The Brewers bullpen, Pat Murphy, the Brewers position guys, or us fans who watch every game? I think everybody needed a day away.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of miss watching, but yeah.
Well, what made it tough is we talked about it last week, very rare to have a Tuesday off in the major league season. Never happens, right? They always play Tuesday. You might get a Monday off, but you generally always play Tuesday. And I don't know why it is, but the Brewers needed it after 19 games in 18 days. And they'll fire up against the Phillies. But the thing is that the Brewers you have to basically sit on that one. That they lost yesterday, 10-8, up and down game. But it was compounded with interest, the just horrific loss in Toronto when they were going for the sweep of that series on Sunday. They played one of their worst games of the season.
That was
Sunday afternoon in Toronto.
Holy cats. I was watching that and like, who are these guys? Just stupid mistakes.
Very uncharacteristic play.
Mm-hmm.
So that was rough to watch. But hey, plenty of time left. A lot of ball game left, as Aaron Nagler would like to say. And the Brewers, everybody needed that day. I think everybody. You probably feel you'll miss it tonight. Around 7:00, you might miss it. Even maybe 6:40. You might say, "Oh, where are the Brewers?" And okay, they'll fire up again tomorrow. All right, you can get us at 877-794-1973. That is the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line, especially if you'd like to share your buying and selling propositions today, presented by Urchel Real Estate Group. Oh, baby. Urchel Real Estate Group is the place. If you have any transactions upcoming, whether you're looking to lease a commercial property, if you're looking to buy a residential property, if you're developing land, if you've inherited some land, Gregor Urchel is a realtor, a broker, and a lawyer. It's like one-stop shopping. They can handle everything that can come up in the thorny world of real estate transactions. Urchel Real Estate Group, ERCHULL, presenting sponsor of buying or selling on the Drew and KB program. And I will open the bidding by talking about, since we were talking about the Brewers, we might as well open with the Brewers. I will say, you buying or selling that Jacob Misiorowski will pitch out of the bullpen between now and whenever the Brewers play their last game of this 2025 championship season. Will he solely be a starter, or will he be used to get 6 outs at some point to deploy him like a weapon?
You know what? I mean, I don't know what's going through anyone's head, obviously, but I would be okay with that. I mean, you're looking at 5.5 games with a month left. And I would think that you almost have to look at your pitching staff much as you would in a playoff series, right? Every win is going to be important. So if you've got to do something to get a win, especially if you know what the Cubs have done, yeah, I would buy that. I would buy that.
Hunter, what say you?
That's I would say
Murph made it sound like they haven't talked about it. I gotta believe they've talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
He said they haven't talked about it. Okay.
Yeah, I have a feeling they've at least discussed it a little bit. This is what Murph had to say yesterday about it.
Yeah, I think we're learning as we go. I mean, we're learning as we go. We need him as a starter right now, and he's developing as a starter. That discussion hasn't begun about what else could happen with that.
hasn't begun in earnest, perhaps. But the thing is, and I see your point, KB, but like especially this 19 games in 18 days, like you don't manage that the same as you do a playoff series.
No.
You can't. And the Brewers are getting stung, and they got stung in that stretch. There's no 19 games in 18 days in the playoffs. You got plenty of time, right? And you can carry a shorter pitching staff.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I would reckon the Brewers would probably carry 12, maybe even 11, but probably 12 pitchers in a playoff series. Be interesting to see the mix of starters and relievers. But they're getting stung with the short starts. And as great as Freddie Peralta's been in the last couple of weeks, he's a culprit too. They ate, well, how many innings did the bullpen eat during this 19 games? I think it was like 80 innings.
It was a lot.
80 innings in 19 games.
That's what, 4 innings a
Yeah,
game?
that's a lot. That's a lot. And so the thing about Miz, though, is like you got to protect that arm, and he's on his routine, and to throw him in the heat of things is a risk. But then so is having 4 inning starts. Like the worst thing in the playoffs, especially because every game affects the next game. If your starter gets knocked out in the 4th inning in a playoff game,
the domino effect is brutal.
It really, really weakens you. So maybe it would be better to deploy him. A lot of people said use him as an opener. Well, why not use him as like behind the opener and let him get 6 outs or maybe 9 outs and go one time through, not 2 times through the order, no, don't let him face guys a second time. And part of that is the control thing, the pitch count thing. It's a fascinating dilemma. It's one of those good problems, but it almost makes you think, look at their injury situation stuff. Do you almost wish they had Nestor Cortez?
No.
Instead of Brandon Lockridge? You need arms. You need innings, man. Not necessarily that he was a
Gasser going to be
7-inning
back?
guy.
Yes, actually. The answer to that, I think,
Very
is
soon.
yes, because
Yes.
Lockridge is in AAA. And then Gasser, yeah, he's technically he's available to pitch now, but now they're going to start to build him up as a reliever down there.
That's what
So I have a feeling
that's
in about 15 days he'll be up.
And
as a
Hall and
bullpen.
Ashby, Hall's injuries has hurt. Like they have been hurt, man. That's like Henderson. They got guys.
Well,
that are hurt.
Shelby Miller now.
Shelby Miller's
Yeah.
cooked, right? So that was rough.
What was the I mean, I think I know what the reaction was in the press box yesterday when Miller went, or the other day when Miller went down.
The reaction
Was immediately everyone knows when that happens.
Yeah, because it was an elbow type thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was. I was trying to figure out what it was, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it looks like an elbow, and then
You could tell, throw a
first thing
pitch, look to the dugout.
First thing you thought is, well, that's his last pitch of the season and
Right.
maybe his career.
right.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been around for 10 years. If it's
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. All right. Buying or selling presented by Urchel Real Estate Group, as long as we're talking relievers. The Baseball Writers Association of America, MLB, they announced jointly within the last couple of weeks that there will be next year for the first time, they're going to give a Reliever of the Year award in both the National League and the American League. So it used to be like Cy Young, and then it's like, could you give a closer to the Cy Young? Does that have to be a starter? Well, now there's going to be a separate award sanctioned by the BBWAA and MLB for Reliever of the Year in each league. You buying or selling that's a good idea.
I like that idea.
I
They
think
used
it's
to have
long
like
overdue.
Yeah, they used to have like the Rolaids firemen or
that was
whatever.
always like the Sporting News or Rolaids. It was like
Right,
there's
yeah.
never a sanction.
It wasn't a
one of the
baseball
majors.
thing.
Now
Yeah,
it's
no,
gonna
I
be
like that because
a major.
I wouldn't say closer, but I would say bullpen pitcher of the year because they're equally as important as
It'll probably
the
be
starters.
a closer, but hopefully someday it will be a setup guy. Like what Uribe did in the 8th inning and has done. Guy like that could get consideration. What do you think, Hunter? You buying or selling that?
Yeah, I'll buy that. I like that.
I like that.
Absolutely.
You buying or selling that Cal Raleigh, the big dumper from Seattle, who has 50 homers right now on September 2nd? You buying or selling that he'll make it to 60, that he'll hit 10 in the
It's
month
tough.
of September?
He would have to have a Terang light month.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, have a month like Terang did in August. I don't want to doubt him now, but it is September, so I feel like I'm going to sell that. I think he's going to be just short.
They're in a race. They're driving.
They are.
I'm buying it. I think he's going to do it. Then the question is, can he pass Aaron Judge and win the MVP? Because they have similar numbers. Judge has a pretty big distinct advantage in average. So that's going to be a horse race. Yeah, we got time to argue about that. Buying or selling presented by Urchel Real Estate Group. Okay. The Badgers, when we left the air on Friday, they went on and played. They went out and played Miami, University of Oxford, Ohio. They won. Billy Edwards got hurt. We're going to listen to a conversation that the No BS boys had with him later in the program in case you missed it. But the attendance for the game, KB, was 65,000. They didn't sell out the opener. Are you buying or selling the notion that the Badgers will only sell out one home game this year, and it'll be against Iowa? Their home games are against, Middle Tennessee State, Maryland, Iowa, Ohio State, Washington, and Illinois.
Oh, no, I'm selling that because they'll sell out Ohio State.
Yeah,
you think that'll be if they're still number one?
Yeah,
and Iowa fans are going to come,
and
right?
Iowa fans are going to come.
All right,
now,
so they'll have two sellouts.
Selling on one, buying on two.
Okay, all right. I think it's like results dependent because after what happened to Alabama, if you went down there and got drilled, it's not going to be a tough ticket, no matter who's coming in.
Well, no, but you'll get a lot of Ohio State people.
Yeah, no, they'll travel. Iowa people always will. So I guess now you're saying that they could hit the over/under is 1.5, and you're betting the over.
Yes, that's
for
exactly
sellouts
what I'm
for
saying.
The Badgers.
Yeah,
Yep.
and people want to see the number one team in the country as well. Ohio State's always a big draw, but also you have a chance to pull, the biggest upset in the country that weekend. I think that'll be a highly regarded ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Buying or selling numbers game. Matthew Golden switching to jersey number 0 for the Packers, a number worn by our buddy Braylon Allen when he was with the Badgers.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the number I'm concerned about, though. Although it does strike me that when he got drafted, he said he was going to wear 81, and then it was 22 to honor his grandmother. And then, Micah Parsons was talking about being 0 or 1. He's like, I like 0, so he's 0. Changed his number 3 times.
Yeah.
More importantly, when it comes to numbers in Matthew Golden, will he have the triple crown for the Packers this year as a rookie wide receiver out of Texas, the first number 1 pick in more than 2 decades at the wide receiver position? Will he lead the team in yards, receptions, and touchdowns? Will he secure the triple crown among Packers wide receivers? Buying or selling?
Selling. I do not think he will.
Hunter?
I'll go selling as well, but I think he'll get 2 of them.
I think Schneidman predicted today that he'd get all 3. That was on the Zabin Butch program, I believe.
That's possible. I think Dobbs will be right up. I think it'll be between him and Dobbs.
Jaden Reed is compromised a little
That's
bit.
the thing.
Injured. Christian Watson's not going to play the whole season.
Right.
So it's like him or Dobbs or
I guess, depending on how good Reed can be playing through it.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking Golden's chances, but it's a fascinating question.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Another number. You buying or selling that Micah Parsons will play in 15 or more games of the 17-game regular season schedule?
I'm going to sell that until we know a little bit more about his back. But, from what everyone seems to be saying, what did they say? It's a sprained fractal joint or whatever. It's L4, L5. I mean, I had surgery on L5S1. Depends on how bad it is. You can get an epidural and play. Takes a couple days for those things to kick in, so you would have probably had to get it yesterday.
Well, he practiced Monday and plans to go harder as the week goes on. He's been doing physical therapy and stuff like that, and they wouldn't have given him that contract had they not checked the medicals. So
done their due diligence.
I know people are leery about his condition, but I'm not that worried about it. But it is, 15 out of 17 games. Can he play that many?
You'd like to see 7
ankle sprain. I think they got him.
Well, it's a tough league.
Tough.
It's a tough league out there.
It's
tough for anyone to go 15 out of 17.
That's right.
I'll sell that. I don't think he will.
Okay, you don't think Hunter? What do you say?
I'll sell it, but I think it's right around there, 14, 15.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
Hopefully there'll be a game, the old the asterisk, like what if they sit everybody because they've clinched a division or something? Yeah, that's part of the math too. But Vegas doesn't care about how they get there. They just care about the number. All right, I got a couple more for you on my buying or selling plate presented by Urchel Real Estate Group. Are you buying or selling that when he gets to the professional ranks, Arch Manning, who had a rough weekend, Arch Manning will have a bigger impact in his sport than Bronny James is having in his sport.
I will buy that.
Okay. So you think he will someday be a starting quarterback in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hunter?
If Arch is a backup, consistent backup in the NFL, is that more than Bronny? Because Bronny's
Bronny gets,
way
too
well,
G League basically.
I mean, that's the thing is how much burn are you getting? I guess.
But
I mean,
backups in the NBA there's rotational players in the NBA that every team has guys that play 8 to 10 minutes a game, right? Bronny's not at that level yet. Hasn't forced himself into that level yet. It's interesting. They were getting mentioned. Shedeur Sanders is getting mentioned. A lot of legacy talk, a lot of Nepo baby talk over the weekend because Arch Manning they underwhelmed. But I also thought there was a drop or two, and I thought they weren't that creative offensively.
Here's the thing: Arch Manning was behind what's his name, the quarterback for 2 years. Is he a junior? Did he redshirt? I don't think he redshirted, although I'm not certain. So really, if you think about it, his first start as the guy, really, was at the Horseshoe against Ohio State.
Yeah, not easy.
Not easy,
not
and
easy.
especially when you're not.
And no preseason, right?
No preseason, especially when you weren't the regular quarterback for 2 years. So, had they started him as a freshman and he's got 2 years under the belt, I think you'd see a much different quarterback. But it doesn't matter. He'll be somewhere else next year for his senior season. Who cares?
All right, last one for you. Buying or selling that the Badgers will win more games this year than Chapel Bill and the Tar Heels under Bill Belichick.
I'm going to sell that.
Selling? Okay.
I don't think they will.
Hunter, what say you?
Ooh. I will.
Big Ten's tougher than the ACC.
Not a great start for the Chapel Bill era, though.
No. I'm going to sell that just based off of, like you said, the schedule for both teams.
It's going to be a horse race. I think they're both going to be about 5 or 6 wins. So.
Yeah,
it's not going to be pretty.
All right. There you have it. That's buying or selling. Well, that's just opening the ante. We got plenty more time.
Oh, yeah. I got
to stretch out with some buying
I got a lot of buying and selling
propositions. Here. Absolutely. Buckle up. It's the Tuesday that feels like a Monday edition because we're all back at it today. And it's like a short week, but it's going to go fast. It's a short week aside. It's going to go fast because we're football feasting on Thursday at Buffalo Wild Wings, 27th Street on the south side of Milwaukee. And then we're ready for football and Packers football on the opener on Sunday, Packers Lions. When we come back, we're going to talk Packers Lions with our buddy Wayne Larrivee, the voice of the Packers. He will join us next. Later in the program, we'll catch up with the voice of the Badgers, Matt Lepay. Tuesdays on the Drew and KB program, you get to listen to the guys behind the mic. It's going to be fantastic. A lot of other stuff holstered up for you as well. We're glad you're hanging out with us on this Tuesday in the Good Land. It's Drew and KB statewide on the Game.
Now I made it through the weather. Better days are gonna get better. I'm so sorry that it didn't work out. I'm moving on. I'm so sorry, but it's over now.
Wisconsin, you know how to celebrate things when it comes to the fall. Football, the stretch run to playoff baseball. Great weather and old fashions. Celebrate this September all things Wisconsin with Central Standard Craft Distilleries North Brandy Old Fashions during Brandy Old Fashioned Month. Whether sweet, sour, or press, North Brandy works well for all of it. And being made right here in Wisconsin, we know just how to make the perfect brandy for you. So celebrate September being Brandy Old Fashioned Month and raise a glass or two and celebrate with us.
Drew Wilson here from 97.3 The Game, and I want to tell you about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching the big game. And now Daisy's come out with delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and a Daisy Ranch Dip, and these are a game changer. These are as delicious as homemade dips, and they are made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. I invite you to visit your local grocer and check out Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. They are truly a game changer. Look for them at a grocery store near you.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer, the originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Go, Pack, go! Cheer on the Packers as they take on the Detroit Lions at Lambeau this Sunday, September 7th, 3:25 p.m. kickoff. Grab your friends and head to Maddie's in New Berlin, Knuckleheads in Eagle, Carly's in Pewaukee, or Hot House in Menominee Falls for Miller Lite specials and promotions during all Packers games. Miller Lite, tastes great, less filling. It's Miller time. Go, Pack, go!
Step into American Place Casino, where the excitement never ends. Located in Waukegan, Illinois, just a short drive from Milwaukee. Over 900 slot machines, your favorite table games, 4 restaurants, live entertainment, and now our brand new poker room. Plus, we're proud to be the friendliest casino around with service that sets us apart. Whether you're here to hit the jackpot, catch a game, or just have an unforgettable night out, American Place Casino has it all. American Place Casino. Closer than you think. Friendlier than you expect. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. If you're hosting a football party or heading to Green Bay or Madison for the game and a tailgate, we'll help you with your beverage game plan. We are your football party beverage headquarters. Whether you need an ice cold keg, a bottle of your favorite wine, a unique craft brew, or hard to find liquor, we have everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
We'll get you all set up with your favorite beverages for your football party and save you a lot of money. Open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2. Family owned and operated since 1960. See all of our weekly specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Here in Wisconsin, there's one name synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza. That's Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home, and they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved Rising Crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo Thin Pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your grocer's frozen food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family business.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale, now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
Honestly, everything happens for a reason. It's a blessing in disguise, and I'm gonna work hard every day to prove that, Packers organization made the right decision and trusted me, and, I'm gonna carry that with me.
That voice you heard is Micah Parsons, the newest Packer, wearing number 1 for the green and gold. And number 1 in our book is the voice you're going to hear now, Wayne Larrivee, the voice of the Packers, brought to us on the program by Potawatomi Sportsbook, bet above the rest, by Discount Liquor, family owned and operated in Milwaukee and downtown Waukesha since 1960, and Wisconsin Concrete Coatings, built in Wisconsin, built to last. Good afternoon, Wayne.
Good afternoon, guys. How you doing?
We're fantastic. Great. Happy New Year. It's all upon us now. We're just days away. We're less than a week away from meaningful professional tackle football. And Wayne, when the Micah Parsons news hit, I couldn't wait to talk to you on our program to get your reaction and to find out if you remember, before you got to Wisconsin and became one of our people, Sterling Sharp held out through camp and like up till the eve of the opener. And then and I can't remember anything this dramatic this close to the season other than 1994. Maybe my logic's flawed or my memory's bad, but this is on par with that.
Yeah, it really is. And it's a huge move for the Packers. I mean, this is a very talented player. These guys, as Goody said, don't become available very often. You can go back to the Khalil Mack situation in 2018. The Packers were in there fighting to get Khalil Mack from the Raiders. The Bears won out. Why? Because the Raiders felt the Bears would have higher first-round draft choices than the Packers would. And so, that won that deal. But Goody jumped on this one and didn't let it get away.
It's going to be so much fun. In what ways does he make everything around him better? We talk about secondary. We talk about the other guys on the other side of the line when he's absorbing double teams. Just what is his impact? What's the trickle down of just having that guy playing for you?
Well, since he came into the league in 2021, there's a stat they call sudden pressure, and that is a pass rusher disengaging from the blocker within 2 seconds and pressuring the quarterback. He's among the league leaders. Matter of fact, I think he's number one over the course of the last 4 years in that particular stat. So this is where if you can get early pressure on a quarterback like that, it makes the secondary better. It also means that other teams are going to have to, hey, he's the first name on the scouting report, all right? So that means Rashawn Gary steps back, and all of a sudden the attention goes to Micah Parsons. I think Rashawn Gary, instead of being a 7.5 sack guy, becomes a 10 or 11 sack guy just because of the presence of Micah Parsons.
Ooh, that's fantastic. Sudden pressure, that's KB's colon on chili night.
Sudden pressure.
Sudden pressure. That sounds like a horse. We should buy a horse and call it sudden pressure.
There you go.
I'm liking that.
Run them up at Saratoga, huh, Wayne?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm loving that. But Wayne, it's hard to wrap your brain around this. And I bet the under on this. I even said on the air, I'll be glad to be wrong, but the Packers aren't going to do anything like this. And I was looking at the other side, and I guess I didn't calculate how crazy the old billionaire in Dallas is. I mean, he's a great businessman, powerful man, but I think he's crazy.
Drew, it's amazing because all of the last 2 weeks we've been seeing these little snippets on, social media about Parsons and Green Bay and being one of the teams that were really interested and all that. Never heard anything concrete about that from anyone with any kind of particular, position in Green Bay. And I always thought it was just internet stuff. And then last Thursday when it came out and came to fruition, I said, wow, was I wrong on this one? I mean, gosh, but hey, they gave up Kenny Clark in the deal. You have to give up something to get something. And Kenny Clark is a very big factor, not of this kind of ilk in terms of pass rush and destroying games and things like that. But Kenny was very important in the middle of the Packers defense. He will be missed on the field, and even as much on the field, he'll be missed in that locker room because he became a leader over the years. The Packers drafted him at 19 years old or thereabouts. He's been there for 10 years almost, and he was a main figure in that locker room. So there will be some void to be filled here with this situation. But, as we all say, a good deal, you've got to give something to get something.
That's one of the cool things about this job, because I remember his first year, he did a radio hit with Mike Heller, and he was very young and just very
19 years old in the NFL.
Incredibly,
for a defensive lineman, not like a skills guy.
It reminded me of I met Jimmy Butler when he first got to Marquette, and he was just looking at his shoes, and he was a shy. And now look at him; he's like a million degrees different than he was. It's fun watching guys like that. So, who replaces Kenny Clark's production, Wayne, in the middle of that line?
Yeah, well, I think, Devontae Wyatt is a guy we've been talking about, guys, and I know we've had this discussion at the Flophouse, that, he's a guy that's, I think, on that defensive line, has the ability to become a blue chip player, and they need him to be a blue chip player. He's that gifted. He got off to a great start last year, suffered an injury about a month into the season, missed a few games, came back, was never the same. But if he's healthy, and I think he is, he had a quiet camp, that's okay. This kid can break out this year. He can be a main difference maker up front. Carl Brooks will be absorbing some of that role. Brinson, the player they drafted from Georgia, will be there as well. And so will Stackhouse. the rookie free agent to make the football team at defensive tackle. So Kenny will be replaced probably by as many as 2 or 3 players in the middle of that Packers defensive line.
It's interesting to hear that the Packers were picked to finish 4th in the division, yet you get Micah Parsons coming, and it's like they're on the road to the Super Bowl. Is this division that difficult? Could you theoretically see 4 teams from this division in the playoffs? All 4?
Saturday we were having a discussion. Tim Van Voren, myself, and Dennis Krause, I believe, was in on that discussion. And we're talking about the division. Some guy came up and was asking us, well, what do you think? What do you think? He's waiting for us to say, oh, the Packers are going to win this division hands down. And I think Tim Van Voren had a great statement. He said, you know what? I could picture any of those 4 teams finishing last as much as I could picture them finishing first in this division.
Right.
I think what it says about the division is that, yes, it's very good, and these teams are pretty close, and they still are. Micah Parsons gives the Packers a big boost. No doubt about that. But does it change everything in the division? I think it gives the Packers a better chance to win this division and make a hay in the playoffs, no doubt about that. But right now, I still think Detroit's a team to beat until further notice, until the quarterback of Minnesota falls all over himself. I think they are a very good team as well. And then Chicago Bears have won the offseason like the last 3 years. At some point, that's going to pay off in the regular season. So this is a heck of a division.
Well, the Vikings, they get Adam Thielen back, over the weekend. So he's going to be back. And so that, those are the guys that were the problem always for the Packers. But, McCarty at quarterback, it's like you're unproven. I think my gut is telling me, Wayne, that the most disappointed fan base this season is going to be the Vikings.
Well, I believe, KB, they won 5 or 6 one-score games last year. So you do that in one season, and usually the football gods get back at you for the next season. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like you drain 5 putts on the front side, 5 one-putt greens. On the backside, those damn golf gods, they come up, and all of a sudden you're 3 putting, for God's sakes.
It's
just sickening. So, I'm with you. I'm hoping the Vikings, have a disappointing. Why not? I'm hoping they have a disappointing
and it's simply because you get a quarterback that hasn't played in the NFL.
Yeah.
You've got a rookie quarterback that has not played in the NFL.
There's a rookie quarterback that went to the championship game last year, too. So.
Well, there is, but, nonetheless.
Yeah. So talking with Wayne Larrivee, the voice of the Packers. Wayne, the Parsons thing, it blew everything else up. And what will we be focusing on if they hadn't traded for Micah Parsons? Probably the health of some important guys like Nate Hobbs and Jaden Reed and guys that we didn't see play during preseason very much. And maybe even, the quarterback. We'd be focusing on that. But instead we're distracted by, number 1 on the program. So what about those other storylines heading into Sunday?
Drew, that's a great point. Let's take Micah Parsons out. Let's say that never happened last week. What were we talking about? Well, Jordan Love to get healthy and have a very good season, become a legitimate top 10 quarterback in this league. That is certainly not asking too much of Jordan Love. He's that talented. I think he'll be there. He'll be that player. We were looking for Tucker Kraft to step to the next level, become a blue chip player. Now the Packers have to invest in him, invest play calling in him, more than 70 targets this year, and I think they will. And I think if they do, he becomes a blue chip player. Zach Tom at right tackle is probably already one of those guys. Penei Sewell will always be the best right tackle in the NFC. Believe me, Zach Tom's not far behind. On defense, we'd be focusing on Devontae Wyatt, whom I just talked about. Edgerrin Cooper becomes a blue chip player. You have a blue chip player in Xavier McKinney in the secondary. If those things come to fruition, the Packers will be right in the mix for the Super Bowl. Now, throw Parsons on top of that, and now you're looking at really a great possibility for this team to not only eventually become a playoff team, but make a run of the playoffs as well.
One of the things I was just throwing at the boys, Wayne, was could Matthew Golden be a Triple Crown winner as a rookie and lead the team in receptions, yards, and touchdowns? Is that possible? Because I'm thinking Jaden Reed's health is dicey at the start. Romeo Dobbs, he's up and down. We haven't seen consistent production, and we don't know how they're going to spread it around this year, to your point, because we didn't get to see a lot of what their offense is going to look like during the preseason. So is my logic flawed that I think Golden has a chance to lead them in all three of those?
Well, when you said Triple Crown, I was thinking NFL, and I was about to say, oh, no question, no way he's going to be the Triple Crown winner overall. But of the team, yeah, there's a good possibility he could be that. He's that talented, guys. He's been very impressive. We've seen a little bit of him in the preseason games, but what we've seen on the practice field with him, what we've seen with him in those drills at Indianapolis and against Seattle, this kid appears to be the real deal. There's not, as Larry McCarron says, there's nothing not to like about Matthew Golden. So can he become a big man, big player on this team as a rookie? It's hard for wide receivers to do that, but it's not impossible, and this kid has the talent to do that. So, yes, I believe he can lead this team in receiving yards, catches, and touchdowns.
I hope we have a lot of those press conferences where it'll be where one guy has 10 catches one week and then like 0 or 1 target the next, in a good way. I mean, because it seems like they have an abundance of options, and we can't forget Josh Jacobs is going to touch the rock a lot.
Yep.
Right. I mean, that's
absolutely. And the thing about this whole thing, and we're in the third year of this process I've been talking about, they have built a team that all of the stones are not in the basket of the quarterback. You understand? This is a team that can run the football. This is a team that can defensively control the other side, can put pressure on the quarterback. This is a team that can win in many different ways. It's not all about the quarterback. Now, they have a top 10 talent at quarterback. Can he carry them? Yes, he can. But if he has an off night, an off day, this team can still win. And I'm not talking just regular season. This will be very important in January, because that's where the Packers have the last 30 years, they've had 2 first ballot Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Hard not to put all your biscuits in their basket. But by the same token, there's risk to that. And if the quarterback is not good, if Brett Favre's going to throw 6 interceptions in St. Louis, the Packers aren't going to win. If Aaron Rodgers can't move the football in the last 3 quarters against San Francisco in 2021 at home in the snow, the Packers aren't going to win. Well, the fact is this team is being built that, yeah, the quarterback's a key component, no doubt about that. But it's not all on him. And I think that's a good thing.
You just got to sit back and taste the goodness of the biscuit, regardless of where they're playing.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Absolutely.
Especially those biscuits at Red Lobster. My goodness.
Oh, cheddar base. So good.
Oh, it's the only thing keeping them in business.
Probably true. Probably true. All right. One last drive by Wayne. The results in the preseason mean nothing, but the trends that you see on the practice field and in preseason games, they can carry through the regular season. So 2 guys that I'm watching, Jordan Morgan and Lucas Van Ness, both seem like they're poised to, increase their production and their impact. Is my logic flawed that those are the guys that I'm looking at on each side of the ball that could be kind of X factors?
Yeah, both of them had very good training camps, Drew, by all accounts. And I think Van Ness, he's probably going to be used more in a situational deal, but we'll have to see how that all plays out. I can't wait to see practice on Wednesday, tomorrow actually, and to see how they're going to deploy these guys. But it's just interesting they have those kinds of pass rushers. We think he can step to the next level. Jordan Morgan played well at left tackle. He'll probably start the season at right guard. If Elton Jenkins can't go, they'll move Sean Ryan to center, where he played most of the preseason, and they'll go from there. But I think Jordan Morgan, Larry McCarron told me on numerous occasions, Morgan can play. And he can play a tackle or he can play a guard, and they are not going to be hurting at those positions wherever he plays.
That's very soothing to hear. That's fantastic. Wayne, have a great week. Thanks, it's Wayne. A quick one, and we will see you. Can't wait to see you on Sunday at Lambeau.
We'll do it, Drew. I'll bring down a beer if they win.
Beautiful. Let's book it. I'm hoping we get that victory beer. That would be amazing. Billy and I look forward to seeing you. Wayne Larrivee, the great voice of the Packers. He joins us weekly. Brought to us by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest. Discount liquor. Family owned and operated. Shout out Marie and her family. Milwaukee and downtown Waukesha since 1960. And by Wisconsin Concrete Coatings. Built in Wisconsin and built to last. It's Drew and KB statewide on the game.
Green Bay football fans, the party starts 3.5 hours before every home game at the Resch Expo Plaza Pit Stop with iHeartMedia. free to the public, no ticket required. Enjoy food, drinks, live bands, and special features like the Bloody Mary Bar, Cheap Shots Bar, the Tipsy Tapper Beer Trailer, sampling stations, and more. Located right across from Lambeau Field, in front of the Resch Expo. The Plaza Pit Stop is your game day party headquarters all season long.
You're not just tired, you're drained. Dragging yourself out of bed, powering through work with caffeine, skipping workouts, zoning out at home. That 6 to 10 o'clock evening window, it used to be your time. Now you're barely holding on. Lower energy, poor sleep, no drive. If that sounds like you, it might be low testosterone, and you're not alone. It's Drew Olson from 97 Through the Game, and I was in that exact spot with less gas in the tank. I got tested at Game Day Men's Health, and it changed everything. I've been amazed at the level of service I've received at Game Day and how quick the treatments are. It's part of my routine now. You can make it part of yours. They are looking to help you at Game Day Men's Health. It's fast, it's simple, and it's built for guys on the go. Like no waiting rooms, no awkward questions, just a free T-level test and real solutions that work. You've got a life to live. Don't waste it on the couch. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com and book your free testosterone test today. Game Day Men's Health. Get into one of the 5 area locations, get results, and get back in the game.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Isaac Miller here, the #1 high school football recruit in Wisconsin. It's only my junior year, and I've got 14 Power 4 offers and counting. I've got big plans for my future, and Iron Jock is helping me get there. Here's the truth. Sweat sabotages success. It breeds bacteria, destroys your gear, and slows you down. But Iron Jock changed everything. They infused their performance apparel with nano silver that kills 99.9% of sweat-borne bacteria. And its odor defense and fabric protection is guaranteed for the life of the gear. And I'm all about defense. I've worn it all. Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, and Iron Jock blows them away. This stuff performs. Whether I'm grinding in the weight room, running drills for college recruiters, or even out on the golf course, Iron Jock keeps me cool, dry, and smelling fresh. If you're serious about performance like I am, then it's time to get serious about what you wear. Go to ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Yep, I'm looking at the pages right now.
Thomas's translation company just lost its only 2 Spanish speakers. Without the right replacements, he'll be in problemas.
Yeah, we'll have those ready. Tonight's going to be a late one.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Some patchy fog again this morning, then lots of sunshine, high near 78. Overnight tonight, we should get increasingly cloudy, but stay dry until after midnight, and then we get into some rain and thunderstorms for our Wednesday. Wednesday's high near 72. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Bet Online.
Bet Online continues to be your #1 source for all your football betting action. Bet Online has all the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. From every pro to college game, Bet Online remains your choice for sports wagering info. Bet Online. The game starts here.
Attention, please. Milwaukee's most listened to sports station and the home of your Wisconsin Badgers.
Break the tackle. He's gone. Touchdown, Wisconsin.
97.3 The Game.
Check swing appeal. No, he didn't go, says Jim Wolf.
Man, they're not calling any of them.
Man, Pat Murphy is fit to be tied.
Yeah.
And Pat Murphy just got tossed by Jim Wolf. Jim Wolf said get back in the dugout.
Murphy was mad about the non-call on Bryce Harper. And in a situation like this, close game in the ninth.
Just his second ejection of the year for Pat Murphy.
Murph was a little bit salty after that one. FanDuel Sports Wisconsin bringing it to us, Jeff Levering and Bill Schroeder, who will join us tomorrow on the program. Usually Tuesdays with Rock, but programming note, he'll be with us tomorrow. KB, do you remember when we went to Vegas with our friends, Jim and Kurt, our contest winners?
Yes.
We had to go to Vegas.
Yeah, that was a blast.
Well, a lot of people have life-changing events in Vegas, and I got to say, for me, that trip was life-changing because I was the only guy in our foursome who had both of his original hips. And I was walking around. I was walking around limping.
Right.
And Kurt and Jim both said, "Oh man, you're doing that leg drag. You know, you got a bad hip, don't you?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I'd never thought about it. And like, you got to get the surgery. You got to get the surgery.
That's right. I remember
I consulted another buddy of mine, Andy in West Bend, who had just had his hip replaced at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. And he said, "Yeah, you got to go. It's not that bad. You're in and out, and you'll be good in a couple of weeks, and it'll change your life." Well, they changed my life. I limped around for almost 2 years in pain, had trouble sleeping, getting comfortable. It saps your desire to work out to walk long distances, to go even in Vegas, where you do a lot of walking. You put a lot of steps on in Vegas. And I was miserable until I went to Orthopedic Associates Wisconsin. I met Dr. Matthew Bong, my surgeon. Hit it off with him right away because he's the Arrowhead team orthopedist, and he had sons who were playing with Billy Schmid coaching, and felt like I knew the guy my whole life. And I went there. The facility in Pewaukee there is fantastic. It's first rate. I went and had the surgery, changed my life. I am so glad I did it. Visit orthowisconsin.com to get started. If you were like me, if you need anything in terms of orthopedic, shoulder pain, elbow pain, wrist pain, hand pain, hip pain, they replace knees. World-class care right close to home. I highly, highly recommend that you visit our friends at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com to get started. And if you got questions about it, hit us on the talk and text line, and I'll tell you. KB was stunned because you came over the day of my surgery. I was in by 6 a.m. I was home by 1 in the afternoon.
I lost it.
And I was walking around when KB came to visit me.
I know that I was up and around 2 hours after, but you were at Walgreens 4 hours after. It's like, who does that?
It was insane.
Oh, that's the place to go then.
It's life-changing. Need to check these guys out. Visit orthowisconsin.com, Orthopedic Associates Wisconsin. There is a difference. We'll be right back. More buying and selling. And Matt Lepay is coming up at 5:30. Drew and KB statewide on the game.
97.3 The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
This sports update is brought to you by American Place Casino. Nonstop excitement just over the Wisconsin border in Lake County, Illinois. I'm Dave Gasper. The Milwaukee Brewers get a much-needed day off today after a stretch of 19 games in 18 days. The Brewers went 9-10 in that stretch. They'll pick up their series against the Phillies tomorrow with Jose Quintana on the mound. Wisconsin Badgers quarterback Billy Edwards Jr. joined No BS today and said that he's feeling pretty good after his knee injury he suffered last Thursday against Miami University.
Physically, I'd say I'm pretty good. I think I've definitely, gotten a lot better over the last 72 hours. So all that stuff's going in the right direction. Mentally, I feel like, I'm good. Just, tell myself, kind of trusting God's plan. And
the Badgers will be without Edwards for at least this Saturday's game against Middle Tennessee State. I'm Dave Gasper on Milwaukee's most listened to sports station, 97.3 The Game.
Oh, my goodness, a powerful run to the house under duress, and it's a safety.
The tradition of Badger football lives here.
Touchdown, Wisconsin.
Join us Saturday. Wisconsin hosts Middle Tennessee at Camp Randall. Our coverage begins at 1.
Milwaukee's home for Wisconsin football.
Which is a good thing for the Badgers.
97.3 The Game.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Southbound on 43 got heavy delays starting just past Hampton, continuing down to the Marquette and on to 4394 to the KK River Bridge. Northbound delays from Fond du Lac up to Burleigh. I'm Kevin Henry, and that's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
It's your boy Mario Lopez here with some inside scoop. Staples has school supplies as low as 25 cents. Your back-to-school budget, saved by the button, the easy button. What do you think I was going to say? Love me some Staples. That was easy.
I want them gummy squares. I want them gummy squares. I want some sleepy with no more anxiety. I need them gummy squares. I need them gummy squares. I need my wife to find her happy place really soon. We have Delta 8 CBD and new Delta 9s. Go to happyplacehemp.com.
Happyplacehemp.com.
25% off with promo code DrewKB. Happyplacehemp.com.
Live from Milwaukee and heard on the iHeart app by fans everywhere. We are WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game.
Number one for sports and stuff.
What's up? It's Russell Nicolay with Nicolay Law. You're listening to 97.3 The Game, the number one sports talk station in Milwaukee. For award-winning injury lawyers when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law or visit us at nicolaylaw.com. Get the beard, get the win.
Hey, it's Billy Schmidt, and let me tell you, the action never stops at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. With thousands of the hottest slots, nearly 100 high-energy table games, and a sleek new poker room, the thrills are endless. Take your love of sports to the next level with the region's best sports book. In over 2,000 square foot video wall, nonstop betting, and all the live sports you can handle. All of this inside a newly remodeled multi-level casino that's built for the ultimate gaming experience. Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. Your win is waiting.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots. And no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. And then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale, now at AutoZone until September 22nd. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Make 97.3 The Game your #1 preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are #1. We just grabbed every key demographic. Yeah.
Live from the Iron Jock Studios and brought to you by Bryant and Stratton College Athletics, it's time to rock the rivers and shake the lakes with two guys fueled only by cheeseburgers, bourbon, and ice-cold beer at a reasonable price, of course. It's Drew and KB.
We're both whites from the Midwest who have nailed a bunch of threes.
Dorks. They look like a couple of dorks.
The reality is that anybody that knows Drew knows that he's been class personified.
I be trying my hardest to like people, and then they start to like breathe and talk and stuff.
KB brings just great instincts. That's what you love about him.
I'm mad. I have to go to work. I have to earn a living. I'd rather have a private income and get laid.
Do not end up in a hospital, newspaper, or jail. If you do end up in jail, establish permanently quickly.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
Name something Abraham Lincoln probably used to ride on.
Miss Lincoln, like I'm on the bed bush.
Do you want to start drinking?
Yes.
I don't know what time it is, but I'm rolling deep.
How's the corn?
You know, I'm going to have to go for 420, Bob.
Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its.
Light this candle.
He's right. Let's light this candle. Light the candle.
It's a lovely Tuesday in the good land. Welcome, Drew and KB from the Iron Jock Studio, built by Reamer Remodel, joined by erstwhile producer and foul ball avoider Hunter Baumgart. I'm Drew Wilson, and that gentleman across the console, that's KB.
What is happening, brother man?
Well, it's buying or selling day. Thanks to our friends at Urchel Real Estate Group, ERCHULL, realestate.com. And I was bogarting all the buying and selling in our first hour of the program. So, KB, I'm going to turn it over to you. What do you got for us? What are we buying? What are we selling?
I'm going to get, are you buying or selling the fact that Chris Fowler is the best college football play-by-play guy nationally working today?
Working today? I think I'll buy it.
Hunter?
I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really
Solid.
do.
Solid.
Oh, well, then coming right on the heels of that.
I was listening to Gus, and I'm not as passionate either way as I used to be. Gus is just Gus, and
yeah,
I don't know. I've developed my own filter for Gus. So yeah, I think Chris Fowler is solid.
How about, well, so coming arm in arm with that, are you buying or selling Kirk Herbstreit's dog?
A lot of the dog.
A lot of the dog. A lot.
I love me dogs in general.
So do
my
I.
own and others. But I think I've seen enough of Kirk Herbstreit's dog.
Have they said what they're going to do with Lee Corso retiring now? Have they said, are there, you can't have anyone sit on game day and put a head on now, can you?
No, I wouldn't think so.
You can't.
But you can wear a tank top.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, McAfee's going to fill that role in some sort of way.
Yeah, they'll do it
in some form or
yeah,
fashion.
but you can't do the head thing anymore. I don't think
so. I think they should retire that, but the Cubs still play the take me out to the ball game every seventh inning. So,
well, this is true. Where do you are you buying or selling Notre Dame having a female leprechaun on the sidelines?
Buying, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if it matters.
I don't think so either.
Well, you have to have female leprechauns if you're going to have other leprechauns.
That's true.
Right.
Right. So you're going to have
usually
to
pretty androgynous, but didn't they usually have a ginger with a beard or
Yeah.
some scruff?
Yeah. Well, the leprechaun always has a beard. If you look at the
Usually.
leprechaun in the logo.
Oh, sure.
Does the Lucky Charms guy have one?
No, because he's a kid's cereal.
Yeah.
Right.
So
He's a little guy.
he's not a lumberjack. He's not. He doesn't live in Bayview.
Yeah, he's not
Or
a
selvage.
He's a cute
jeans.
little leprechaun.
he's not a lumbersexual.
Yeah, he's not. Definitely not. It doesn't have like a collection of hatchets.
No. Okay.
But no, I think I'm with Hunter. Like I haven't really thought about it, but it makes sense, right?
Yeah, it's
and
just like,
when
do they have one of each, or is it just one lady is the leprechaun?
yeah,
this
that's
year?
the thing. Like, there's no Bucky doesn't have like a girlfriend. Sometimes they'll have, like Mr. Met and Mrs. Met,
right.
or they'll have
Roscoe's got a wife.
Yeah, but they'll have like the Oregon Duck, male or female. I don't know.
Oregon Duck had a tragic thing happen.
Really
to him.
tough.
Lost his head.
Speaking
and
of
then I love
mascot
how he
head.
just went right
Well,
up. I'm
that's
just running
but
straight for
see,
the
that
tunnel.
is the
That's
number one rule of mascotting.
Get
Yeah.
that
That
heck out
head
of there.
comes off, you get out of there.
Get out of there.
ASAP.
Exit. Yeah, that
And
might
he
have been
did that. He aborted.
That might have been the best single highlight from college football over the weekend.
It might have.
Oh, no doubt.
Might have been. Okay, Urchel Real Estate Group, ERCHULL, realestate.com.
How about this one? Are you buying or selling Labubu dolls?
I would have to know what they are.
See, then you're selling it. It's the hottest thing ever.
Really?
It's like the hottest thing since Beanie Babies. People are stealing them by the
Oh.
truckload. They look like Tinky Winky or whatever the hell that Teletubby was, but people are just
I'm
going.
a big fan of Teletubbies.
It doesn't surprise me. But yeah, Labubu dolls. I mean, people are going crazy over these things.
If Teletubbies had been on when I was in college, we never would have left in the afternoon.
I'd still be in college.
420. Yeah, just saying.
With the baby in the sun.
But every generation has their thing though. There's Beanie Babies, Pokemon stuff. It seems like every generation
Pokemon
has
stuff is really hot.
Yeah, but it
Still.
seems like every generation has their They're kind of a signature toy.
I do see people with these.
Everywhere.
Now that I see it. Yeah, you're right.
Everywhere.
They I guess I'll buy it for whoever wants to.
Well, no,
enjoy.
I'm just saying, are you into it? I mean, are you
I'm
buying
not.
or
I will not
selling
be
it? I
buying
can't. I
Boo Boo
can't
doll.
see when it gets to stuff like that and people go crazy on it. You gotta look ahead. Look 2-3 years down the road when you have a crate full of them, and they're not worth anything.
And you think you're going to pay college tuition with them, and
Yeah.
you're not. No, narrator, you're not.
No, you're not. Okay. Are you buying or selling people who say fur babies when they talk about their pets?
Selling.
I would just love to slap someone when they do that. My fur baby. Shut up. Just shut up.
It's not. No.
Yeah, I'll sell that.
Okay.
They are family, but fur
Yeah,
baby.
my fur baby. Shut up. Just stop it now. I know where you're going to come down on this, but it is certainly a divisive individual, and I can see how people can go either way. Are you buying or selling Howard Stern being canceled?
I thought he's still he's going to announce on next week or something.
No, he was going to announce today, and then he canceled that. He didn't come back.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it was interesting because when I was reading an article about it, he has 95 people that work on that show.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I knew he had but 95 people work on that show. I don't think anyone really, except for Hunter, works on this show.
One man band.
To be honest with you, you're the one.
Apparently, there was a promo saying that he'll return on Monday the 8th.
Okay, but he was supposed to be back on the 2nd.
Yeah. It says tension brews.
Negotiations, man. Maybe it's a Jerry Jones, Micah Parsons thing.
It could be. I mean, I don't think they're going to throw money at him. I mean, because I'm sure
they've thrown $1 billion at him.
They have already,
years, so
but
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm them, I don't know if I'm throwing any more.
Just a matter of whether he's ready to hang it up or not. I think he'll go out on his terms, though.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy I think that would do that.
And I think for his staff to give them a softer landing, he might I'm going to work one more year and then let everybody kind of find their way after that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's Gary Delabate going to do with the rest of his life?
Well, I'm sure he's making a ton of money.
Baba Booey. I'm sure he is.
I'm sure he's got enough money to retire.
Yeah, probably. That's true.
I mean, those guys, I'm sure the higher ups there are paid well. I mean, Robin Quivers is, she's not going to be hurting for money.
Oh, no question. No question. But of the 90 people or 95
right, there's a lot of them that are going to be, hey, it's been a good run. All right. Are you buying or selling Major League Sports insiders, particularly guys like Schefter, Shams, Rosenthal? Because Shams just had to walk that whole Giannis thing back.
Oh, that was the transaction of the weekend, right?
Yeah.
Thanasis re-signing with the Bucks.
Back.
I guess Giannis isn't going anywhere then, huh?
Shocker.
Shams had to report that one grudgingly. That the evolution of the insider and the scoop guys and guys who write for Twitter has been fascinating in the last 10, 15 years. And I think it was Christian Watson's pops who was on a rant about that, saying everything that those guys tell you is what somebody wants them to tell you, whether it's the league, an agent, a GM, right? It's all filtered. And there's an element of that. We've talked about it before. It gets incestuous sometimes that those guys have the same agents as the players and coaches that they're writing about. And they're, it's the soup that we're in right now. Can't live without them, but you wonder what it would be like to live without the drumbeat of that.
Right.
You'd basically be waiting like the Parsons trade, for example. Let's say that didn't happen, right? And then you'd wait for the Packers to announce the trade. The Cowboys announced that they've acquired 2 first-round picks in Kenny Clark.
And that one was that's one of the ones that a lot of times these transactions, especially in the NBA, you find out and then 2 weeks later they put out a press release, right?
For sure.
But in this case, this was one that was sprung because it was so unlikely. And that's what we talked to Wayne about. I'm still wrapping my brain around how weird it is from the Cowboys side. You got a generational player. You can pay him. But then it got like personal. Jerry Jones tried to lowball him and tried to meet with him without his agent and said, hey, we got a deal. Like his agent wasn't in the meeting, so you don't really have a deal. And then that's when it went south, and Jerry's a weirdo. Not that most billionaires seem to me like they are kind of weirdos, but then it fell apart and it got personal, and it just like the way they're spinning it.
Well, we played it last week, how he's gaslighting, Cowboy Nation. Jerry Jones is.
Yeah, I mean, they did need Kenny Clark. They did need run support in the center, but like not at the expense of a future Hall of Fame player.
No, not at all. And he's not turning those 2 draft picks into 5 players.
Yeah. And we had seen it with Trey Hendrickson and McLaurin, like these holdouts, there's a lot of squawking on both sides, and then they sign.
Detroit fan Chris says people who say fur baby are the same people that vacation to Disney without their kids.
Oh my.
Wow, shots fired. JJ's got a good buying or selling here.
All right, we love him. Let's have it.
Buying or selling. The Colorado Rockies will make it back to the World Series before the Badgers make it to the Rose Bowl.
Man. Is the Rose Bowl now permanently a college football playoff game, or is it ever going to be an exhibition again? Is it ever going to be? It's part of the fabric, right?
Yeah. No, it's not anymore.
It's not. It rotates.
It's just a game, right? Didn't last year? Didn't they?
Yeah, so the semifinals and stuff can be part of it.
Were they just separate games played at those locations, and the Rose Bowl was still the Rose Bowl?
Rose Bowl is now part of the college football playoff. It's a quarterfinal game in the 12 team.
Okay.
In the 12
so
team
they
format.
have to. It's a quarterfinal game, so they'd have to be placed there.
But I mean, is he saying?
Well,
is he saying Rose Bowl is a euphemism for being in the 12 team field?
Right.
So,
you could do that. College football playoff or the Rockies making the World Series.
Yeah, because I mean, if you go to the Orange Bowl or the Sugar Bowl, it's the same, right?
The Rockies have a long way to go.
Yeah. I'll take the Badgers.
Yeah, me too.
I would take the Badgers before the Rockies.
Rockies are in such a bad spot.
And the Rockies are competing against the Padres and the Dodgers.
Right.
I mean, it's like, come on. It's until they get a new owner, they're never going to be good. So,
yeah, I'll go
Badgers. I go Badgers on that.
Okay. And let's see. Do I have one more? Yeah. What are you buying or selling? The game of lacrosse. Not the city, the game.
Not Hunter's hometown. Yeah. I'm buying, but I don't pay any attention to it or watch it or, seems like a cool sport, but it's complimentary. Hockey players play lacrosse.
That's the big thing in Canada in the summer.
It's got its merits, but I don't is it the Dippin' Dots of sports? Sport of the future?
I buy it for those who like it. I personally do not pay attention to it, but it's on frequently. Like over the weekend in the Brewers press box or yesterday, I saw it was on. I'm like, because there's like professional leagues and people get into it and everything and go for it. But I personally would sell the sport for myself. However, it's a fine sport and the city's great.
Okay. All right. Are you buying or selling that the Packers opener against the Lions, traditional NFC North foe, will be called by Jim Nantz and Tony Romo and Tracy Wolfson because it's a CBS game, 3:30 on Sunday?
Like, do you like it?
Yeah.
I liked it better when Fox had the NFC. And it was like,
so did I. I can't stand listening to him.
I don't
like that.
It's regional bias, and I know people who work on the crew of CBS broadcasts who are incredibly talented, but I've always liked Fox's presentation of the NFL more than CBS's.
Yeah.
Just a personal preference, mate. Because again, it's a little bit like if you grow up watching the American League style of baseball back when there was a difference, you'd be like, I like the American League.
Right.
I don't want to watch pitchers bunt. And then if you like the National League, you're like, I like the strategy. It's just a personal preference conditioned by years of watching it. But I just feel, and it was always like you knew where the game was going to be. Now you never. And
where is it? Where
streaming?
It's this.
Streaming is throwing another wrinkle into that crap.
It's Jim Nantz. Just go to the Butler cabin. right? Just you've had a good run. Just go sit in the butler cabin, and that's all we need you for. Thank you.
All right, here's one from the 414 burner phone. Buying or selling that Doug Gottlieb will win more games with UW Green Bay this year in men's hoops than Bill Belichick at UNC. Now that is, what was the Phoenix record last year? Would they win 4 games maybe? I don't, but that's where the joke is. Obviously you play almost 3 times as many games in basketball as you do in football, but that's the joke. That I get that. That's A for effort and S for snark. I'm down. I like the joke. Put it that way.
Here we go. Mark on the talking text line. Are you buying the game of wiffle ball?
Sure.
Yeah.
How about are you buying the game of wiffle ball? Guys who go through incredible expense to build a replica of Fenway Field in their
I like that.
That's cool.
Fenway Park rather.
I like that. But those guys who throw the unhittable benders and stuff, that's rough, man. But hey, if people will watch bags on TV, if they'll watch cornhole,
well, that's I think
like
that's the Ocho. They do that on the Ocho
yeah,
when they
exactly.
do that, and that's just filling time.
I don't have the bandwidth for Ocho Sports anymore.
No, I don't. Time. And they have pillow fighting, and the slap fighting is insane when they have to stand and they slap guys, they knock them out, and it's like, what the hell?
I'm not watching that. That's
no.
Not my bag. Mm-hmm. Charlie in Waterford is visiting us on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line 877-794-1973. Charlie, welcome to Drew and KB. What are we buying or selling?
Hey, guys. I don't know if I'm buying or selling. I just wanted to touch base on Micah Parsons' back injury. Is he going to play on Sunday?
By all accounts, yes. Everybody says yes. He practiced yesterday, and he's told Rasheed Walker that he's going to ramp it up later in the week. Will he be on a pitch count? Quite possibly, but he's expected to play.
Okay, because I heard he had to, if he was going to play, he was going to get a shot in his back.
They've been doing this course of therapy and stuff. It doesn't seem like it's major. Like I said, the Packers wouldn't have had him practice on Monday, and they wouldn't have signed him to this deal if they didn't think he was going to play. So by all accounts, now the question is, though, if he plays, how much does he play Sunday? And then how much does he have in the tank for Thursday? Because they got the quick turnaround. So that's the question. Thank you, Charlie. I guess buying or selling that, Micah Parsons. By the way, the Packers depth chart just did come out, and he's listed as a starter.
Well, there you go.
Just saying. And so is Rasheed Walker, who broke that story to reporters yesterday.
One of the funniest things
yes, I am.
One of the funniest things that I ever saw before the weekend was Notre Dame listing Shane Gillis on their injury report out for tailgating.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Patrick in Oshkosh is on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line. Patrick, welcome to Drew and KB.
Hey, fellas, good afternoon. I'm totally in on wiffle ball. But I have a question for you guys, because I grew up playing wiffle ball with just, my neighborhood friends and whatnot. There was that yellow skinny bat, but there was a fatter black bat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
420.
Everything stops at 420. Sorry, man. That's okay.
You're going to have to wait for a second.
Thank you, brother.
Stay there.
Yeah, stay on the line. Everything stops, man, at 420 on the Drew and KB program, so we can ask the question appropriate for this time of day. This minute, it's 420. What are you, high?
Are you high? You're huffing grass?
Hey, brought to us by HappyPlaceHemp.com. I hope people use their products over the Labor Day weekend because it's perfect for holidays, perfect for any day. The best CBD products in the land come out of Muskego from Rob and Chris. Check the guys out. Use the code Drew and KB. Get 25% off your order every time. Drew and KB, 25% off at the store in Muskego, online at HappyPlaceHemp.com. 25% off. KB, what do you got?
Well, we're going to go to Houston for this one, where a man by the name of Sean O'Donnell was arrested Thursday in connection with the death of another man, a 34-year-old Aaron Prout, who was living down in the Houston area. Deputies responded to what was initially described as a possible suicide. However, they found a lot of inconsistencies in the scene. It was later determined that O'Donnell and Prout we're having a, I guess it's a shooting experiment, if you will. And Prout was shot in the head and later died at the hospital. They were friends. Okay, they were friends. Well, what happened was, wow, they were drinking. Go figure.
Go figure.
So they were drinking and then decided to have some fun by going back and forth with a Kevlar helmet and shooting each other in the head.
What could go wrong, they say?
What could possibly go wrong? Yeah. So they involved holding a Kevlar helmet above their head and then putting it on, and then there is video footage out there because, the O'Donnell said Prout shot himself, but then they found video footage that they sent to their friends shooting with the helmet and giving it back and forth. Friends told him to stop. Stop! Nope. Went too far, put a bullet in the other guy's head. Now, this is kind of interesting. So one guy is in for murder, right? For doing this. A judge set his bail. How much do you think his bail was set at?
$500,000.
No. $3,000. $3,000. Shot a guy in the head. We'll let you out for $3,000. In fact, but I mean, probably the odds of him doing it again.
I was going to say, he's not a threat to society, really. Just drunken friends.
He's just drunken friends. But if you're out having cocktails, number one, you shouldn't have if you've been drinking, please leave the firearms.
Yeah.
Don't touch the firearms. But to play a game where you put on a Kevlar helmet and you practice shooting each other in the head because you believe it is bulletproof, all I can say is, well, we're not going to miss you. But what are you, high?
Are you high? You're huffing grass.
People like that should either put the bourbon in a locked gun case or the guns in a locked case. One of the two has to be locked up. One of the two.
Yeah.
That's 420, brought to us by HappyPlaceHemp.com. We recommend the Drift Seltzer, available at retail locations aplenty, but you can get everything online or in the store with a discount, 25% off code Drew and KB. All right, back to Patrick and the wiffle ball.
Okay, Patrick,
thanks for the little detour, Patrick. But you had the skinny yellow bat and the big black or red bat, as I recall.
Yes. And over the long haul of my younger years of playing wiffle ball, the yellow stick bat was clearly superior than the big black barrel bat. It just seemed like the ball popped more because being skinnier with that plastic, it seemed like the ball jumped off
more speed, more club head speed, right, KB?
Yes.
Makes sense. You have more speed through the zone.
There is a bar in Black Earth that actually has, and this is, I'm saying probably 20 years ago, that actually had an outdoor wiffle ball stadium, but it was like Fenway Park theme because the left field was a lot higher than right center and right field.
Okay.
So, it got to be so competitive where my friends and I, we made sure all our pockets were empty and nobody had tape, so they couldn't monkey with the wiffle ball. Because once you
is that what it is? Yeah. Is that like the equivalent of a spitball?
Hey. Yeah, I mean,
greasing up the ball,
Don Sutton action.
Cork ball. Yeah,
yeah. Then you can make it really dance.
But
I mean,
and now that I'm almost 50, wiffle ball is like my sport. I mean, I retired from softball 10 years ago, but still, even as a young kid, the yellow bat trumps.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Thank you for the call. Stroll down memory lane. Patrick in Oshkosh. All right, 877-794-1973. NicoletLaw.com talking text. We buy and sell all Tuesday thanks to Urchel Real Estate Group. We're going to talk to Matt Lepay in an hour, and in several minutes, just a matter of minutes, we'll catch up with Shanna Quinn. She was out last week. We'll catch up with Shanna, find out how she's processing these last few days before the Packers opener and her beloved Bills for the big game against the Ravens, if I'm not mistaken, in their opener. Shanna Quinn from the Country Station on the Hall joins us next. It's the Tuesday edition, Drew and KB statewide on the game.
But God, I need a favor. Yeah, man.
Now they count.
Steps up, quarterback draw. He's to the end zone. Touchdown! Jordan Love calls his own number.
The Packers kick off the season Sunday against the Lions.
He looks, he waits his head. He's sacked. Jared Goff goes down, back inside the 20-yard line.
Doug Russell is live from Lambeau with the Potawatomi Sportsbook Bet Above the Rest pregame show at 11. Kickoff at 3:25 on your home for the Packers. 97.3 The Game.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Northbound on 4145, jam from Watertown Plank to Burleigh with a crash blocking the left lane, and all 25 minutes from the zoo to Good Hope. Southbound taking you 20, jam from Good Hope down to Capitol. I'm Kevin Henry, and that's your latest Total Traffic.
Ryan Seacrest with you, and this is your savings tip for summer. Shop Staples for school supplies as low as 25 cents. Plus, more great deals for teachers and students on top brands and trending styles. Kind of makes me wish I was in school again. Staples, that was easy.
This report is sponsored by Staples.
Drew and KB here with our buddies, Rob and Chris from HappyPlaceHemp.com.
You have a wide range of products, each of which has a different effect. How should I go about finding what's right for me?
The easiest thing to do is just try stuff. And like try our sample pack, for example. You can try all 7 varieties of gummies that we currently have, and then you can see which one works best for you, because everyone's unique and everyone has different experiences. But what I tell people to look for THC and CBD ratios. Higher CBD, lower THC concentrations are more for daily use, and then the higher THC type stuff, Delta 9s, Delta 8s, those are going to be more for the fun factor.
If I drink a can of your seltzer, what will I experience?
I would say the unique thing about the seltzer is you're going to start feeling the effects in maybe 20 minutes to half an hour where you're not, on the couch, but you just have a really good feeling about it.
Now get 25% off your entire order with the code Drew and KB in-store and online at HappyPlaceHemp.com.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns. It's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down at our new clinic in Hudson. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Hudson. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
Walking the dog, climbing stairs, dancing at your daughter's wedding. Life is full of movement, but when hip or knee pain makes every step a struggle, it's time for expert care. I'm Drew Olson from the Drew and KB Show. When I couldn't take the everyday pain from my hip anymore, my first thought was to reach out to the team at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin to see what could be done. The pain was excruciating. I tolerated it, but it was time to do something about pain relief for my hip. It was the best decision I've ever made. I haven't felt this good in years. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, they provide specialized total joint replacement with same-day surgery and cutting-edge technology, so you recover faster and get back to the moments that matter. I was amazed at how quickly I was in and out of surgery and how well I recovered. Take it from me, don't wait. Book your appointment at orthowisconsin.com. That's orthowisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
This Labor Day, the Home Depot is here to help you prep for the season. So no matter what you're working on, you can get your backyard ready for all the fall festivities. Refresh your garden with savings on a wide selection of colorful mums. Liven up your outdoor space with vibrant string lights. And find the perfect grill for your backyard barbecues this season from our wide selection of grills under $300. Get your fall project started this Labor Day at the Home Depot.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale, now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
For award-winning injury lawyers, when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law. Get the beer, get the win.
6-5 the final score. Hearts in your throats.
After the last pitch, make the switch to the baseball postgame show.
These guys are rolling.
Presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest. On Milwaukee's most listened to sports station.
Wow.
97.3 The Game. Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
We are back in the Iron Jock studio built by Reamer, remodeled. Drew and KB, happy to be joined by our pal Shanna Quinn from the country station down the hall.
The lighting on this camera is always top notch. Always top notch. Thank you for whoever does that because I feel repulsive today. So I love this lighting.
So you're okay.
10 out of 10.
It's a good
lighting.
angle. 10 out of 10 lighting.
Yes. 10 out of
Ain't
10.
no lighting and makeup and effects in the world that can make us look good. So I don't know.
Oh, stop it. Stop
it. Yeah, right.
Stop.
Come on. How are things? How are things? I say I should introduce you as Shanna Quinn and a +1.
Oh my God. This is the problem when I eat. I'm so full and then I'm like, just like uncomfortable right now. No, it's been crazy. I haven't been on the air for the past week. It's just been nuts. I was in Buffalo, long story short. Prayers and good vibes, if you can send them to my dad. He's in the ICU still. It's been almost 2 weeks. So it's just a lot going on. We were in Buffalo all last week with him and it's very, very up and down, really like roller coaster right now. So, anything that whatever you do, if you pray, if you send good vibes, all the things, if you can just send them James' way, we'll take it.
And it's not like you're not in an emotional state anyway, riding a roller coaster physically because of being pregnant.
Right. Yeah. So it's just been tough. And, to see this person that you look up to your whole life, to kind of give background, he has small cell lung cancer and it's traveled throughout his body. He's had complications. He fell and broke his hip the other day. And we've been back and forth with doing surgery with that and levels not being even and just all this stuff. So it's just been a lot. And, the dude has been just the absolute best. We have such great friends and family too, that have jumped in and helped. And, we're super lucky, but that's kind of where I've been at this.
That's where you've been
past
at.
week. Yeah. It's just been crazy, but
whirlwind.
On the plus side, again, send the good vibes, the prayers. But on the plus side, this was something that I noticed when I was in Buffalo. And if you're in Green Bay, you'll understand this. And even here with everything with the Brewers right now, we take it for granted, these cities that we live in with these fun sports teams. You know what I mean? Like I said that to the dude. I said, we take it for granted. We have the Bucks that won a championship a couple years ago. The Brewers are so fun right now. The Packers, everything with Micah Parsons going on. The Bills with Josh Allen and MVP. You have cities that they don't have that. And I'm like, man, there's something romantic about that, right? Like you get the butterflies, you go into a local store and you see Josh Allen cutouts. And I'm like, not everyone has that.
You're right. You lived in Albany. What do they got there?
Exactly. That is a great, yes. Because
now there are
state
fans,
capital.
There are fans of other teams in Albany, but it's not the same when it's not right in your market.
You don't get that tingly feeling when you are watching TV and it's a car dealership that's around the corner and Josh Allen is the person who's endorsing it. There's West Her, which is a really big car dealership out there. And it's Josh Allen, Dawson Knox, Deion Dawkins, Steve Tasker, all in this commercial. And you're like, that's so cool. I drive past that all the time. And I'm like, we were just talking about that. I'm like, we take that for granted that, he's from Green Bay. Lambeau is right there in your backyard. I'm like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
There's something about
we
that.
bitch that they haven't won a Super Bowl since 2011.
Lambeau's the tallest building in the city.
It's the only building that people go to in Green Bay.
Well, in mass, yes. Mass, yes. You're not wrong.
I'm like, that's really cool that we have that. That's
You're right.
Something
and
really
we are
neat.
entitled and privileged.
Yes.
And we are in some ways jaded and spoiled too.
Yes, exactly. Like you said, you're like, we haven't won a Super Bowl in so long. I'm like, we've never won a Super Bowl. Have you watched that documentary on Netflix, the Dallas Cowboys one?
I haven't brought myself to, and
it's a heartbreaker for me.
I can believe it.
Yeah,
I can believe it.
Was terrible. So,
but I almost have to watch it now because I'm convinced that Jerry Jones is crazy.
Yeah. And after last week,
last week, I'm convinced that he's crazy, and that this trade, everybody's looking for, there's something wrong with him, or there's something there.
Well, the back stuff that you're talking about with Micah. Yeah,
with Micah,
the back
stuff or the locker room guy or something, but he plays, man. he plays. It's like
a great
he's gonna
signing.
Be incredible. It's like
we were at the hospital because visiting hours in the ICU are a little bit different. It's like 12 to 2, 5 to 7. So the dude and I were waiting there, and you only get 2 people. So you kind of like rotate through. So the dude and I are sitting there. And it's like, I don't mean to laugh, but it's not a very lively place. It's an ICU waiting room.
yeah, a little bit somber, I would say. Yeah.
All of a sudden the dude goes, "Oh my flipping God, we got Micah Parsons."
Oh dear Lord.
And he looks at me. I just start laughing. And I'm like, no way. That's so awesome. Because there were kind of some rumors too that the Bills were looking at him. So I was like, I don't care which team it is. I cheer for both. I think it would be awesome. And it was so funny. And everyone's like looking around. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Micah Parsons just got signed. We're from Wisconsin. People are like, cool. And then also, so
good. He's not in the AFC.
Happy for you.
Yeah. So it was, and also this is another funny waiting room story because you have to find the humor in like the sadness, right? So we're in the waiting room and it is the worst day with my dad. It is just a really bad day. We're talking like the quality of life conversations with the doctors, and we're sitting there in the waiting room, and the dude looks at me and goes, I have some good news for you. I don't know if this is appropriate or not. And I was like, what? And he's like, Taylor and Travis got engaged. And I'm like, oh, heck yeah. Like, I'm like, this is what we need. We need that pick me up. So apparently we have to go to the ICU waiting room for everyone to get good news. So what else do we want for Milwaukee sports? Because
oh my goodness.
Like, it was just so funny that he was just like, we got Micah Parsons.
A smaller story, back among the tire and strip club ads, but Thanasis did re-sign with the Bucks.
That's true.
And that's like, is that done deal? Giannis isn't going anywhere. Thanasis is here for a year. Like, boom, one-year deal. Let's go.
That's a good call.
So
yeah.
That was one.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
And the Brewers maintained, although they were sputtering a little bit, they maintained the best record in baseball, and like they still would be the number 1 overall seed heading into the playoffs and have home field advantage in the World Series if the season ended today. So
we love that.
We'll take that. Yeah.
Well, this crossed my mind the other day, and it's kind of like share this view of things with all of our listeners and everything. And one thing is you always have to try and make, lemonade out of lemons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I do is I'll sit back, and anytime I feel like it's going bad for me, I just remember that, we don't have to, no longer do we have to go out and eat random plants and animals at the risk of being poisoned or eat something that's very nasty just to nourish ourselves. And I think that's a big plus.
KB.
You know what? That's very positive of you, KB.
Quite
I'm
positive.
proud of you.
I was just thinking about that, back when you had cavemen and everything, they were just walking around grabbing leaves and stuffing them in their pie hole, probably dying left and right. Oop, that one's not good. Don't eat that one again.
You give it to the person you don't like that much. You're like, why don't you try that mushroom out for size?
Yeah. See? How do you know?
Well, speaking of food too, the dude had himself, because again, we were like trying to make the best of this time, right? So he had the absolute tour de Buffalo when it comes to wings. This boy ate wings as often as he could, had rankings going. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, number 1 was Bar Bill, which is actually a place that the Bills go to quite often, like Josh Allen and everything. And then number 2 was Anchor Bar, the iconic.
Anchor Bar's iconic, but overrated. That's the cheesesteak thing in Philly.
Yeah, that's
it was really good. It was really, really good. And I have been to Anchor Bar in the past. Like, I don't know if they like kind of upped their game, but it was very, very good. But it was just funny. I think he went to 5 wing places and we were there for a week.
Now,
just doing it up.
In Buffalo, is it sacrilege to order wings that just aren't the usual Frank's Red Hot and stuff? But lemon pepper, like you can go avant-garde and people don't look askance at you?
No. So like at Bar Bill, they even said their signature sauce is not like you're like, so, like here you would go and be like, oh, I want buffalo sauce. Like in Buffalo, you don't do that. You get mild, medium, hot. But like this place had an incredible kind of like spicy barbecue that was so good. I felt bad because, and I would like say it under my breath. I'd be like, can I have ranch with my wings? And the staff would be like, I mean, you could, I guess.
You could,
yeah. See, blue cheese.
It's just straight up blue cheese.
That's straight, and it's repulsive. I've never liked blue cheese. It's disgusting.
So there is that.
You get judged more for that, choosing ranch. And I said, oh, well, we're from Wisconsin. I like tried to turn on the Wisconsin accent. We're from Wisconsin. It's Dairyland.
With our cheese curds.
Mm-hmm. So we had lots of wings, lots of Labatt Blue. Which is blue or blue light.
I think in Wisconsin, I don't think blue cheese counts as cheese.
That's what I'm saying. So like if you get like ranch is way more Wisconsin. That's why I was like that. We need ranch. We need ranch.
Blue cheese.
Basic Midwest
actually,
girls.
Blue cheese as a cheese is the forgotten cheese.
It's disgusting.
Basic Midwest girls need ranch for everything. Pizza.
Oh, 100%.
chicken
it's a
tenders,
beverage.
It's
Yes.
cheese curds,
Like
mozzarella stick, everything.
If I could choose one condiment, it would be a close race between ranch and mayonnaise. Oh, because you can make nice aioli out of mayo.
Yeah. My wife's constantly making a ketchup mayo mix.
Isn't
you can
that-
buy that
isn't-
in a container now.
Isn't that redundant? Isn't aioli just flavored mayonnaise?
That's what I'm saying. But like you can kind of switch it up.
Okay,
You know what I
garlic,
mean?
you
Like
can
it's
go-
like
yeah.
ranch is just ranch.
Ranch is ranch.
Ranch.
Ranch is just ranch.
My PSA
Absolutely.
today.
Okay. Yes, PSA. So you're counting the hours. You got Packers. We have Packers Lions.
Yes.
And then in the nightcap of the doubleheader for you and the dude, you've got the Ravens and Bills in the Bills' last opening game in their old stadium, soon to be old stadium.
Yes,
Right? This is
yes.
the end of Highmark Stadium.
This is it for listen, and I can say this because my team, that piece of garbage stadium, it's crumbling. Like it's time to be done with it. The new stadium is going to be incredible. The only thing that stinks is it's going to be less capacity at the new stadium, but it looks awesome. But I'm so nervous because I've seen a lot of people talking about like how the Bills are going to do. I've seen a lot of people saying 15-2, and I'm like, that's great. I think this might, and I don't want to be negative. I want to be positive, but what I'm going to say is this might be one of the L's for the Bills, but it's at home.
Yeah.
But like it's Lamar.
Draw. It's the first game and nobody's played. It's kind of a clean slate. It's yeah.
It's like MVP versus MVP. So like I'm nervous about it, but it's going to be a fun game to watch.
You're to the point, and the Packers aren't at this point yet, but you're to the point where like the regular season doesn't really matter, and it's only it's the playoffs
that's what I'm
that
saying.
matter.
If this is one of the
but you have
losses,
to-
it's okay.
You have to tell that to yourself because you don't want to lose your last game at your
Yeah.
historic stadium, but if you do, it's not the big deal. You're going to be in the play. You're going to be in the dance. You're going to be competing for the Super Bowl.
Well, and
so all that matters really is what you do in January, but you need something to focus on until then. Packers aren't at that point yet because Rodgers is gone. This is year 3, Love, and now we got Parsons, and now it's like, okay, now it's time to take off, but we're still waiting to see. No one's saying, oh, we're 13-4, book it.
Yeah.
It could go either way. We just talked to Wayne. Like you could see any one of the teams in the NFC North winning or finishing last.
Well, and the dude and I talk about that all the time is how good the NFC North is and how horrendous, besides the Bills, the AFC East is.
Yeah,
it's
terrible.
horrible.
Yeah, the AFC is,
which I love.
Yeah, it's perfect. For you.
I selfishly love that we're number 1, and we probably will be again this year. But shout out Madeline or Madeline. I'm so sorry. Thank you. You're a nice lady. You're a nice lady.
Isn't it wild that when you see new stadiums like being built, because the new one's right next to the old Highmark, right? And you go by and you take a look at it, and you look at the old one, and you always thought it was big, and then you look at the new one, and you're like, my God, they could put the old one inside the new one.
Yeah, I mean, even though the capacity is going to be smaller in the new one, totally. Like it looks
they could
so much
They could
bigger.
drop it through the hole in the roof.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I haven't watched the latest episode of Hard Knocks, but a lot of the episodes they will show them kind of walking around the new one.
There were people who were kicking and screaming. It's a Midwestern thing, Wisconsin. Maybe it's the same in Buffalo, where County Stadium's like, well, I don't want to close that. This is good enough. Like, it's a lot of history, a lot of memories.
What a
and I remember
nightmare.
talking to Uke about that, and Uke is like, if your house is falling apart, if the roof is caving in, like you move to it, you go to a new house.
Yeah.
You don't think about, oh, wasn't it great? We lived in a dump. He's like, this place is a dump.
Yeah.
We have great memories, but we're gonna have great memories at the new place. He's like, why would you live in a house that's falling apart?
That's how I feel about it. So many of my friends are really getting nostalgic about the old Bill Stadium. And listen, I get it. Like that was the first football. Yeah, for sure. But like we got that thing. That thing has to. It's gonna fall apart. Yeah. It's that bad.
And the
Someone's
first
going to get hurt, damn it.
Yes.
and the opener for the Bills on Sunday Night Football, right? KB, it's got your favorite thing as an attraction, drone show.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Bills are like a huge drone show to mark their last game, and KB's like, oh God.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Carrie Underwood because I heard that there's going to be a new opening.
I don't mind drone shows, but don't try and pass it off as fireworks. That's
I
my
agree.
beef.
That's what they're
I
saying.
agree.
That's my beef.
I understand why we're doing drones, but like, give me that firework noise somehow. I understand my dog hates it. Your kid probably hates it too, but I love it.
Yep,
America.
Love it. America. Shanna Quinn, thank you for joining us. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
All the best to your pops.
Thank you.
The talking text line of people that you're getting a lot of support from our
Thank you
smart,
guys.
good-looking
Really
ladies.
appreciate that. You're very sweet.
Thank you for brightening our day. Hope we brighten yours as well.
Yes, always.
All right. We will be right back. It's Drew and KB statewide on the game.
On the kitchen counter, wrapping up the night, arms wrapped around you. Baby, now we're talking. After all the bars are closed.
all personal injury law firms essentially cost the same. When you receive a settlement or win a verdict, we take 1/3 as our fee. If you get nothing, we get nothing. But one law firm has recovered more million-dollar results than any other firm in Wisconsin. We have handled and won the largest cases in state history. And we cost the same as every other personal injury firm in town. Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service. Visit habish.com for more information.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Packers edge rusher Micah Parsons is expected to get an epidural and play in the season opener against Detroit while dealing with a sprained back. Wisconsin coach Luke Fickell says quarterback Billy Edwards will miss this week's game against Middle Tennessee State with a sprained knee. And longtime college basketball coach and Hall of Famer George Raveling has died at age 88 after a battle with cancer. I'm Frank Garrity.
Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Find it behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
Zave and Butch in the morning.
Hey, join us Wednesday. Continue getting ready for week 1 of the NFL, plus Jeff Levering talking baseball. We'll see you bright and early at 6.
Zave and Butch, weekday mornings after 6 on the Game.
All right, smart and good-looking listeners, KB here. The inevitable is right around the corner. Winter, snow, wind, freezing temperatures, and if your house is drafty, winter will be miserable. You know, Miss Sue and I are thrilled with our new windows, but windows aren't the only thing that lets winter in your home. It could be your siding. That's why you need Javier and the team at Tilton Windows, Doors, and More. They've kept Milwaukee homes warm and looking good for years. Not only are they experts in window installation, they offer the industry's most advanced solid core siding that will withstand anything Wisconsin winter throws at you. Think about it. New siding protects your biggest investment. It boosts curb appeal, lowers energy costs, and the siding is backed by lifetime limited warranties, including fade protection, and they're even transferable to the next owner of your home. So get your siding project started today. Just go to utilton.com. They'll get back to you and help you get your project started so you can be ready for a toasty, warm winter. That's the letter U, Tilton.com.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
KB here. I struggled with my weight for years until I found Milwaukee Weight Loss. Now, I'm down nearly 40 pounds and I feel better than I have in years.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-433-4008 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Summer in Wisconsin. Tom, how's your summer going?
It's going great, but with summer comes big summer storms.
And insurance companies have been having trouble with all of the storms in the Midwest, right?
Yeah, wind and hail have been a nightmare for our industry, and then you have these storm-chasing roofers that make the problem even worse.
Are you seeing changes in the industry because of the increase in storm damage?
Absolutely. Many companies are now forcing higher wind and hail deductibles on homes and reducing the coverage available. But some of our companies, like Erie Insurance, still give the customer the choice of how they want to handle it. You know, it might cost more, but at least they let the customer decide, and that's a big advantage.
Well, with the guidance of you and your team at G2, I can tell you, I know they'll be well taken care of. So when you get that renewal offer from your company and they made changes without giving you an option, maybe it's time to call Tom and his team at G2 Insurance. G2 is here to help. Go to G2INS.com. That's G2INS.com. They are your friend in insurance.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Follow us on Instagram at 97.3 The Game.
It's the best place to keep up with Milwaukee sports.
Pre-game and post-game videos and plenty of other stuff. Follow us now, 97.3 The Game on Instagram.
Drew and KB from the Iron Jock Studio, which will soon transform to the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge. It's magic how that happens every day at 5 o'clock. Looking forward to happy hour. Happy hour hits different on a 75-degree Tuesday in the good land. But in our hearts, we love us some American Place Casino. If you haven't been down there, and somebody's going to see Carlos Mencia on Saturday, which is going to be fun. But if you haven't been down there yet, now's the time. Because you're getting in, you're doing all your fantasy stuff, and you're get in your props, go there, go to the Circus Sportsbook, make that your first stop, right? Make your sports investments for this weekend. You can bet on the Badgers, you can bet on state teams, make your investments, and then head on over to the Harbor Poker Room and sample that, and then work your way past the gaming tables, maybe a little roulette, a little blackjack, over to Neptune and Zeus.
Put some shekels in there.
And then experience the dining of La Americana, North Shore Steak and Seafood. That's Dobie's favorite restaurant now. He was there with Billy Gardell, and Billy Gardell doesn't eat that much anymore, so Dobie crushed. So Dobie had himself, he ate like a king that night.
Yeah.
But so we highly recommend go visit our friends just south of the border. The Texas Hold'em in Omaha running daily from 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. You can join the wait list for poker. Visit AmericanPlace.com for more information. And when you go there, go to the rewards desk and get a card. It's going to be to your advantage. People think it's a pain in the butt and that they're surveilling you somehow or trying to capture your information. They're going to take care of you, and it is worth it. So do all this at AmericanPlace.com.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537.
When we open the Timeout Sports Lounge, we're going to revisit a conversation that the No BS boys, Billy and Armin, had with Billy Edwards Jr. After his half a game in Madison. It's very interesting. We will visit that conversation, and we're going to talk to the voice of the Badgers, Matt Lepay, at 5:30. So if you got any Badgers questions or concerns, feel free. Still taking buying or selling, but we're about to have cocktails. And we don't charge anything.
Nothing.
In the Timeout Sports Lounge, because that's the way we roll. Drew and KB statewide on the game.
.3 The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
This sports update is brought to you by American Place Casino. Nonstop excitement just over the Wisconsin border in Lake County, Illinois. I'm Dave Gasper. Wisconsin Badgers quarterback Billy Edwards Jr. joined No BS today and gave an update on his knee injury that knocked him out of last Thursday's win against Miami University.
Physically, I'd say I'm pretty good. I think I've definitely, gotten a lot better over the last 72 hours. So all that stuff's going in the right direction. Mentally, I feel like, I'm good. Just, telling myself, kind of trusting God's plan. And
the Badgers will be without Edwards for at least this Saturday's game against Middle Tennessee State. The Milwaukee Brewers get a much-needed day off today after a stretch of 19 games in 18 days. The Brewers went 9-10 in that stretch. They'll pick up their series against the Phillies tomorrow with Jose Quintana on the mound. I'm Dave Gasper on Milwaukee's most listened-to sports station, 97.3 The Game.
Message marked urgent. We're here for you now on the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line at 1-877-794-1973.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Stopping and going westbound on 94 from 27 to Mitchell Boulevard, 4145 northbound from Blue Mound up to Burleigh from an earlier accident, and northbound 43 jam from the Marquette to Center. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Lynch Automotive family of dealerships.
For over 65 years, the Lynch family of dealerships has been more than just a car dealership. Starting in 1957, we've treated our customers like family from day one. Start your car buying journey today at shoplynch.com.
Drew Wilson here from 97.3 The Game, and I want to tell you about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching the big game. And now Daisy's come out with delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and a Daisy Ranch Dip, and these are a game changer. These are as delicious as homemade dips, and they are made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. I invite you to visit your local grocer and check out Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. They are truly a game changer. Look for them at a grocery store near you.
Hey, what's up? It's Russell Nicolay with Nicolay Law. If you get injured, it's Nicolay time.
Infinity's app shows precise costs of your new roof, providing peace of mind.
Infinity costs less, and the price we quote is surprise-free.
Because we pay less, you pay less. Warranted, guaranteed quality.
Installing peace of mind. InfinityRoofing.com.
Playing Milwaukee's #1 sports station.
This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game.
Now streaming.
Heard worldwide on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, smart and good-looking listeners, KB here. The inevitable is right around the corner. Winter, snow, wind, freezing temperatures, and if your house is drafty, winter will be miserable. You know, Miss Sue and I are thrilled with our new windows, but windows aren't the only thing that lets winter in your home. It could be your siding. That's why you need Javier and the team at Tilton Windows, Doors, and More. They've kept Milwaukee homes warm and looking good for years. Not only are they experts in window installation, they offer the industry's most advanced solid core siding that will withstand anything Wisconsin winter throws at you. Think about it. New siding protects your biggest investment. It boosts curb appeal, lowers energy costs, and the siding is backed by a lifetime limited warranties, including fade protection, and they're even transferable to the next owner of your home. So get your siding project started today. Just go to utilton.com. They'll get back to you and help you get your project started so you can be ready for a toasty warm winter. That's the letter U, Tilton.com.
An unsuspecting driver at a Milwaukee barbershop.
I got an apprentice here shadowing me. I'm put this hot towel on, man, for a good 3 minutes, all right?
The apprentice is Donald Driver.
So when you come here, you drive?
Yes.
Your car got seatbelts?
Yeah.
You wear them?
No.
Okay, but why not?
I don't want to.
But do you know you can get a ticket for that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you a ticket. Bet you wish you buckle up now.
Oh, my God. Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Take it, click it. There we go. Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways. Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
Central Standard Distillery's North Brandy is the biggest selling locally produced brandy in the state, aged for over 2 years and finished in our bourbon barrels. This Wisconsin Proud Brandy will help you elevate your cocktail experience. Available statewide at retailers and supper clubs everywhere.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Make 97.3 The Game your #1 preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword FESTIVAL to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's FESTIVAL to 200-200.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
smart and good-looking listeners across Wisconsin. Drew and KB's Timeout Sports Lounge is now open. So grab a bar stool and belly up because it's time to knock a few back with your host, Drew and KB.
So basically you have
Jim, Jack, Johnny Red, Johnny Black, and Jose, all my favorite men.
Time for drinking, bud.
Drink up while it's cold, ladies.
toilet wine is a big thing in there, and people get their drink on.
We sat and drank with the sun on our shoulders and felt like free men.
I don't know what inferior swill this is, but I ordered a Lagavulin.
Set them up and I'll knock them back, Lloyd. 1 by 1.
We hope there isn't a single fan who is having a problem with the two-fisted slopper.
Drink. The king commands it.
They took the bar! The whole bar!
Medium dry martini, lemon peel, shaken, not stirred.
Clock on the wall says it's 5:01 in the good land. Welcome to Happy Hour. We're happy you're hanging out with us, Drew and KB, in the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge. Looks a lot like the Iron Jock Studio, but it's a bar. Hunter Baumgart is here. I'm Drew, co-proprietor of this establishment with KB.
What is going on, brother man?
You tell me, what's the cocktail of the day featuring spirits that you can find at thecentralstandard.com.
We are drinking a little cocktail called the Burned Martini.
The Burn Martini?
The burnt martini.
Burnt martini.
Yes, and what that is the Guided Trail gin, and then we're gonna splash some scotch on top of it.
Oh my God.
And then you can get all jacked up, but don't drive.
I'd call that the express lane.
You think?
To catching a clip.
Holy cats.
Cow.
Yeah.
That's
burnt martini.
Now, I've heard of people mixing the gin and vodka together.
Right. You can do that. Yeah.
That was like I think
my
aunt and uncle used to call that a Charlie Brown.
Right. You shouldn't be mixing, I don't think, brown and clear. Unless you're doing you shouldn't. You shouldn't mix them at all.
Probably not. But hey, you're doing it.
And scotch though. And hey, I'm doing it. I gotta get rid of some scotch. I used to drink scotch, but you drink scotch and you wake up in the morning and it feels like you got sweaters on your teeth.
Like what kind of sweater?
Like a big, huge furry sweater on
big mohair.
Yes.
Ugh.
That's exactly, you're like,
terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible.
It is.
All right. That's the cocktail of the day. The only thing that could save that is pairing it with
Pep's Draft House Pizza. I suggest that you don't burn that.
Right.
But even if you did, it would be delicious. But Pep's Draft House Pizza, big toppings, a bigger taste, delicious handcrafted recipes, all served on your choice of original hand-tossed crust, thin, crispy crust, rising crust, 14 and a half different flavor varieties. You could turn your house into a draft house with Pep's Draft House Pizza. As Hunter likes to say, it's 3 good, right, Hunter? There you go.
Outstanding. That's fabulous. Love us some Peps. PepsDraftHouse.com. HAU.
Had one this weekend. It was
fantastic. Website. I had one last week because it was, what's for dinner? Well, throw in that Peps. Deliciousness. Fantastic. 877-794-1973 gets you into the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line, which is your way to get past the velvet rope and the bouncer and the tuxedo. Wait, we don't have those. Timeout Sports Lounge is a dive bar. But nonetheless, you are welcome here. And we're still taking your buying and selling propositions. Also taking your thoughts on the Packers roster and the depth chart that came out today. Some interesting things on there. Elton Jenkins listed as the starting center. We were wondering what his health status is going to be. Now, just because the depth chart doesn't mean you're starting Sunday, right?
No.
Jaden Reed is listed among the starters at wide receiver, along with Matthew Golden and Romeo Doubs. But you don't know. I guess in some measure, we won't know some of the transactions until Sunday, 90 minutes before kickoff, when the inactives are announced. But there were some interesting things from the backup. The backup center is Sean Ryan, and Elton Jenkins has missed so much time that there's a chance that Sean Ryan starts at center, as he did in the preseason, and that Jordan Morgan slides over to right guard. Otherwise, Jordan Morgan would be backing up at right guard and also likely at left tackle. Interestingly, Rasheed Walker told reporters yesterday in the locker room, they said, "Do you expect to start?" "Oh, I'm starting." And so he kind of broke the news of the depth chart before that, which is, I don't know that the coaching staff was that thrilled about that, but hey, the writers were happy. So that means, Aaron Banks as well, like Walker, Aaron Banks, Elton Jenkins, Sean Ryan, and Zach Tom listed as your starting offensive line for the Packers. All right. So Ryan is the backup center then. Matthew Golden, again, listed as a starter. I think he might be WR1, maybe from week 1 on. We shall see. Micah Parsons starting opposite Rashawn Gary, while inside Colby Wooden's taken Kenny Clark's spot as the second starting defensive tackle next to Devontae Wyatt. So those are the two guys up front. And then followed by Carl Brooks, Nazir Stackhouse, and Warren Brinson, who are backups there. Lucas Van Ness, who, interestingly, remember Lucas Van Ness when he got drafted, people said, well, he didn't even start at Iowa because they had that system or whatever. He hasn't started in his first 2 years with the Packers.
Yeah.
And he's still he's not unseating Micah Parsons or Rashawn Gary if they're healthy, but he's expected to play in spots and will have an impact. We don't know about Nate Hobbs, but he's listed as a starting cornerback along with Keyshawn Nixon. Carrington Valentine is the number 1 backup at that spot and could end up playing and starting. Evan Williams is a starting safety over Javon Bullard on the depth chart, but they're both going to play. And Bo Melton is listed as the 4th corner. So interesting stuff on the Packers depth chart. Oh, also kick returners. Nicole Hardman's on the practice squad and could be elevated for Sunday, but right now the number 1 kick returner is Keyshawn Nixon, and the number 1 punt returner is Jaden Reed. So FYI, you can do with that what you will, but the Packers have put out a depth chart for the day. All right, 877-794-1973. What's the depth chart for the Badgers at quarterback? Well, Billy Edwards left the game with that horrifying knee injury. You know, when a guy has a non-contact knee injury, it's never good. Always scary, but it looks like it could have been worse. And Luke Fickell had a press conference today. Edwards is not expected to play Saturday at Camp Randall against Middle Tennessee State, but there is hope that he will be better and that he will start against Alabama in a couple of weeks. But as it happens, the Badgers quarterback 1, Billy Edwards Jr., joined our friends from the No BS program, Billy Schmidt and Armin Sarian. And of course, I guess we got to add Dave Gasper into that mix as well.
Sure.
And he joined those guys earlier today, and we thought we'd spin through that conversation, about 5 minutes, give or take, of it. And it is presented by Westtown Monona Tire, your honest, dependable, experienced local tire and auto repair shop since 2001. Find them online at westtownmononatire.com. Let's listen to what QB1 had to say with Billy and Armin.
Man, I'd be remiss to say, as you walk by me on the sidelines on Thursday, I was worried about you. I know Badgers fans have been worried about you. It sounds like some optimism at the moment, but I'd be remiss to ask how we feeling mentally and physically, because I can only imagine the last 72 to 96 hours have been a frustrating one, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm good. Like always, appreciate you guys having me. Physically, I'd say I'm pretty good. I think I've definitely, gotten a lot better over the last 72 hours. So all that stuff's going in the right direction. Mentally, I feel like, I'm good. Just, telling myself, kind of trusting God's plan and also realizing the opportunity that I have, still currently to kind of be a leader and help guys like Danny out and, still have a voice on the team and make sure, kind of my impact's heard and my voice is heard over the next, couple of practices. So it's been all good. It's definitely frustrating, but that's a game of football. So just, taking kind of everything with, as it comes with a grain of salt and just continuing to maximize whatever, opportunity I have. And in this case, to be a little bit more vocal this week and help those guys out. I'm trying to just maximize. So it's been good. Obviously maybe not what we want it to be, but the situation is what it is. So just trying to go about it as best as possible, attack my rehab, help these guys out, make sure, they're ready to roll and keep it pushing.
If everything went according to plan, there would be no drama. There'd be no fun. Well, it wouldn't be nearly as good for us, Billy. I don't know that we'd have as many people calling and talking and listening to us if everything just went according to plan. Obviously, it doesn't. But when it goes down on Thursday night, you talked about being a leader. You talked about your voice being heard and the importance of leadership in that moment. Seeing you rallying the troops and being on the sidelines and chirping during timeouts and everything, I think Badgers fans really appreciated. I can only imagine your teammates loved it and gave them a sense of confidence with you on the sideline. At what point did it go from, all right, I know what happened to me, but now I need to be there for the boys, because that's got to be a quick flip. How quickly did that mindset for you change?
Yeah, probably maybe 10 minutes once, I walked back into the locker room and they took a look at me. Then it was like, all right, well, what can I do right now? There's questions that were answering there. There was maybe some stuff we were still having to figure out, where it was like, all right, we're sitting here at halftime. It's, it's opening night. It's Thursday. We're up 3-0. We're in the situation we're at. So, very quickly I was like, hey, can I take my pads off and get in the locker room and get with these boys? And then just getting back, like you said, kind of the opportunity to be back out there on the sideline for the second half and, getting the opportunity to be around them. Like it was a quick switch, but I don't think it was, it was just me kind of understanding, what role I had at that point and trying to embrace it. And like you said, make sure those guys that were out there in that huddle, whether it was offense, defense, the kickoff team, whatever it was, were ready to roll. So it was a quick switch, but it, wasn't anything too crazy. I was just happy to be out there and support my guys and make sure, we were able to take care of business week one.
Billy, a fantastic attitude. I think it's a great way to approach it. Clearly you're about the positive mentality, the right stuff, but I'd like to, I would think that even for the most positive guys in that moment, there has to be a little bit of a scariness to what's going on. It's the first game, you've put so much into the season. Do you think all you've been through in your college career, getting to this spot has helped you to respond in the best way for this type of situation?
Yeah, 100%. I think, like we've talked about before when I've been on here with you, is as a younger player, I was put around some really, powerful guys, whether they were really good players, really good leaders. So kind of the experiences I've had from being able to watch them as a younger player to obviously as my career has panned out, there's been adversity and, definitely every season, but almost probably every game you can look at of if there's, injuries, we're down, we're up, whatever it is. So yeah, I think all those experiences kind of helped me to, where yeah, in this experience or opportunity I had on Thursday, like I think a lot of it comes down to, my relationship with these guys of, yeah, it's a little bit scary. Is it upsetting maybe for the first 5-10 minutes when I was walking off the field? Yeah. And then, the flip goes of, okay, now how can I be here for these guys? How can I help them? How can I lead them? How can I have some sort of positive impact on them for, the remaining 35 minutes of the game? And then, we get into the next week and maybe that role changes and we continue to adapt and roll with that. But yeah, I'd say definitely all my experiences, right? All the, the goods, bads, the uglies, whatever I've kind of had to go through throughout my career has gotten me to this point, has, allowed me to have the career up until this point and the mindset and the wins and losses and everything that comes with it. So yeah, definitely embracing that. And just, like I said, I've always used the kind of buzzword of opportunity. And, that was a different, maybe an opportunity I didn't want to be in, but it was an opportunity I had in front of me on Thursday and, just trying to make the most of it. And then, like I said, however that opportunity changes, we continue to adapt with it. We roll and, we make sure whether it's getting myself ready, getting some other guys ready, I do what I have to do to kind of help the team and, for the betterment of the team.
Now, I mentioned Danny O'Neil, I want my man to slide a little bit. What did you think of Danny getting thrust into the moment? He loves to run. He likes to put that head down. What did you see from him into his first opportunity there on Thursday night?
Yeah, just the confidence and the poise. I know, when we talked kind of as a quarterback room right after the game, Coach Guyton, right, talked about, he's like, I lived that as my career. Coach Guyton was saying how, a backup for probably a little bit longer of his career. And, as a backup quarterback, which I was in that shoes once too, you're one play away. So really just to see kind of the poise, the confidence, right? I didn't get to see maybe the first couple plays when he was out there, but then going back and getting to watch the tape and seeing kind of the plays he made when he had the opportunity to make them, he didn't flinch. And that, I've been in that situation before. I've, had probably multiple, numerous opportunities to go in when maybe the starter gets banged up for a play, for a half, whatever it was. And so to see him come out there and kind of had that no flinch mentality, definitely, made me feel a little bit better. And I think that's, goes back to kind of the room as a whole, the quarterback room as a whole of what Coach Guyton preaches and how we all kind of hold each other to a standard in there. And, Danny and Hunter and all these guys, we were all learning the offense together, right, in January. So kind of we've all learned it together. And yeah, am I older? Have I played a little bit more than some of these guys? Sure. So there's things that maybe I know and maybe I've seen that they have not yet in a game. But really the across the board kind of help we're able to give each other with learning the offense and kind of, hey, this is how we go about things. Or, hey, if we have a long play in the huddle, like I'm saying that thing and I'm making sure I'm out of the huddle by 20 because I know, we have 15 more seconds of operation that needs to go. All that little stuff that we can help each other with. I think, he helps me just as much as, I help him or I've helped him. So to see him kind of go in there and have that no flinch kind of reminded me of old young Billy the Kid. Like that's what we prepare for. That's what he prepares for. That's what he's trained to go for. So it was definitely, with however, whatever my feelings were at that time, it definitely made me feel a little bit better and confident of like, I see this every day in practice. I know he can handle it. I know he can go out there and run the offense and be explosive and make plays. So now, over these next 45 minutes, how can I help him? And, what if it's talking to him between every drive, if it's not talking to him at all, kind of getting that feel for, the same thing he does for me when I'm out there and he's, backing me up.
Early candidate for our favorite interview of the fall, Billy Edwards Jr., the Badgers quarterback 1, joining the boys on the No BS program. In case you missed it today, it was brought to you by Westtown Monona Tire, your honest, dependable, experienced local tire and auto repair shop dealers since 2001. Find them online at Westtown, town with an E, MononaTire.com. 877-794-1973. Interesting dynamic. Danny O'Neill probably going to get the reins again against Middle Tennessee, which struggled against Austin Peay, and it should be an easier game on Saturday than what the Badgers had against Miami.
Should be.
At least in theory. And then they go down to Tuscaloosa, where the natives are getting restless, and they want Kalen DeBoer on his way out. I think he's 5-5 or 5-6 since he took over. What's Kalen DeBoer's record? Hey, Hunter, look up Kalen DeBoer's record as the Alabama coach, because it's been underwhelming. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they've only won like one road game. And the Roll Tide crowd is upset.
9-5.
He's 9-5. Okay. And what is he on the road? He's got to be like, I don't know.
That's like 4 years of losses for Saban.
You're right.
Right. I mean, yeah.
You've been at the top of the mountain like they were for so long. My goodness. All right. 877-794-1973. Yeah. I mean, looked like a good idea at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But is Alabama? And remember when we thought, the NIL, now they'll never lose.
All right. Here's the thing. And I'd love to have people weigh in on this, because when I was watching the games this weekend, okay, and I know you and Billy were talking about watching the games this weekend. You could make a good case for having preseason games for college.
It's everything. Well, yeah, a lot of the expected favorites didn't cover or didn't win, and it was a mess.
Okay, and watching the games this weekend, and I want to say this clearly, because people hear half of what you say and then immediately start typing.
Sure,
tell you you're an idiot. I'm watching the games, and we've gone from a Power 5 to a Power 4 now. But as I watch, and particularly the Notre Dame Miami game, it has nothing to do with the outcome or nothing to do with the way it was played. But all of a sudden I see Carson Beck is now the quarterback at Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay. All right. Well, whatever, but this is the NIL thing. And this is what I do not like about this transfer portal. You got to have one or the other. $1.9 billion is being spent on NIL. $1.9 billion. And it's doubled from last year. And now you get these guys that are going all over. And as I said, you don't know who you're going to have. You got new and sure. Okay. Is the quality of play better? Sure. Let's just say that it is. You're going to have a better game, but is it a better game? Do you understand what I'm saying?
It didn't feel like it over the first weekend.
No,
I'm not talking about the play on the field. Is college football better with this? I'm not so sure it is.
Yeah,
the games are better, but I don't know if college football is better.
But I don't even know if the games are better.
Well, that remains to be seen. We'll see as the year goes on whether they are or not.
Okay.
But I would think if you're a coach, there's a problem.
What if we kept the NIL and went back to the you can transfer once portal?
I'm fine. I would be fine. Well, not even once, but you got to sit out a year.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, they changed that for COVID.
Yeah, but they also it should always have been a thing that. Well, now they're probably going to have contracts and stuff, but it should always have been a thing that if your coach, the guy who recruited you and they sat in your living room and told your parents he was going to take care of you for 4 years, if he bailed for a better job, that you could then transfer. But I think if you limit them to one or maybe two, if you're being really generous, over the course of your eligibility. First of all, I think college eligibility should probably have been 5 years anyway, because everybody, there's so many red shirts and stuff like that, and COVID years. But again, my long stance on this has been because it is a business and it's professional now. Let's call it what it is. My long stance on this has been go play. Going to school is optional during your time, and you can have the access to the free education when your eligibility is done. Then go to college and study when you have nothing else to do, because most guys don't make it to the pros. They don't play and they don't play at the next level, and then let them do that. And then you might have better graduation rates and less, crap. But it's fascinating the soup that they're in right now.
Oh no, you want to know what's going to
me,
get
it's
worse?
like the portal is worse than the NIL.
Okay, how about, well, maybe not. How about this? You've got a guy by the name of, you get two guys. One guy's name is Connor McLennan, hockey player. The other guy's name is Hudson Thornton, hockey player. They're both going to Bemidji State next year, or this year, to play hockey. Hudson played for the Hershey Bears, and Connor played for the Chicago Wolves and the Norfolk Admirals. They're pro players that are going back into college.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
It probably shouldn't be.
Well, no, but I'm saying it's not it's not in the interest. It's not in the spirit of what it should be. And I think it's going to be a lot more difficult for coaches, because especially when you got quarterbacks hopping around, they got to come in and learn a new system, and what was the big thing they would always talk about? It's like, consistency, and you want from one year to the next, and you want to be able to have that, moving on and build upon that's gone. As a matter, yeah. But now you can go back in. Going to Bemidji State, I played professionally, got paid, but I'm going to go back into college. Well, you're getting paid in
You're getting paid in college. So
right, but there's still
a line there.
Passing off the ruse that it's the student
there's still
athlete.
a line there. Yeah, there's still a line there. But yeah, you're getting paid, so that makes it less onerous, I guess, because you go from your paid job.
Okay, so you got a guy like let's say you have a guy like Cole Caulfield, right, who plays 1 year at Wisconsin, maybe 2. I don't remember. I'm sure the Bears still correct.
He won a Hobie Baker, right?
Won the Hobie Baker, and then goes to the Canadians. Well, he's still got college eligibility. Can he go back in?
Yeah, good question.
I mean, this is saying that you can.
Yeah, that'd be a great question.
Well, it's like the guy who got traded for Christian Yelich, who's now playing for Arkansas. Monte Harrison.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's playing football for Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, that's different.
Yeah, changing sports. Okay.
Changing sports. That's
that's
who was it? JR. What's
Well,
his name?
right, but
JR Smith went. Was it him that went back and played golf?
Yeah. He went,
I get what you're saying. It's not the same.
It's
He was
not
in
the
the
same-
professional ranks, but in a separate sport.
Yeah,
Now
separate
he's trying
sport.
to-
Yeah, I'll
That's
give you
different.
that.
Sure.
That's different.
I'll let that slide. But these guys are pros in their own sport, going back
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
So is it a better game? Yeah. Is it? It's what always bothered me is that the dollar sign started flashing, and yeah, it's a big, huge business. It is, but you lost the spirit of what college athletics should be. And
yeah, you need continuity. I mean,
you need that continuity. It's Carson Beck playing for Miami, and going from Georgia to Miami. If I'm a Miami fan, I don't want him. I mean, I do when I don't.
You do if he's winning.
You do it, no,
He's
I'm
gonna
saying,
win.
yeah, I do when I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Well, at least it's a guy you heard of.
Yeah, I totally forgot. And then the announcer said his name at the beginning, and I'm like, wait, what? He's there? And then I kind of
Who's playing
remember.
for
You got
the
two
other-
Wisconsin guys that were contributing to Notre Dame.
Who's playing for the other side? Stetson Bennett.
Right.
Oh no, no, it wasn't, but some redshirt sophomore, but it was just, I don't know. I saw that stuff happening and I'm going, something's not right with this.
Still the Wild West. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk Badgers. We just heard from Billy Edwards, and the news is relatively positive. feeling better over the last 72 hours. Not expected to play Saturday, but could be in line for that game in Tuscaloosa, which is getting more and more interesting by the hour, I think. When we come back, we're going to talk to Matt Lepay, the voice of the Badgers. He's up next. You got Drew and KB in the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge, statewide on the game.
Now they count.
Steps up, quarterback draw. He's to the end zone. Touchdown! Jordan Love calls his own number.
The Packers kick off the season Sunday against the Lions.
He looks, he's hit. He's sacked. Jared Goff goes down, back inside the 20-yard line.
Doug Russell is live from Lambeau with the Potawatomi Sportsbook Bet Above the Rest pregame show at 11. Kickoff at 3:25 on your home for the Packers. 97.3 The Game.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Lousy southbound on 43 from Brown Deer down to the Marquette, taking 27 minutes. Your delay is starting at Keefe. Southbound 4145 is 20 from Good Hope to the Zoo. Your jam from Appleton to past Capitol. I'm Kevin Henry, and that's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Need better sleep? This Labor Day weekend, upgrade to premium sleep at Mattress Firm's best sale of the year. Let their sleep experts match you with the perfect bed and get the rest you deserve. They make sleep easy.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Wisconsin did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
For award-winning injury lawyers, when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law. Get the beer, get the win.
As a fellow military veteran, I relied on my team to get through very difficult missions. We had each other's back and supported our teammates through thick and thin. If you find yourself struggling to make it another day or know someone who is, reach out. Support is at reachoutwis.org.
Paid for by Advancing a Healthier Wisconsin Endowment with support by the Medical College of Wisconsin, the War Memorial Center, and reachoutwis.org.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
KB here. I struggled with my weight for years until I found Milwaukee Weight Loss. Now, I'm down nearly 40 pounds and I feel better than I have in years.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-433-4008 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Drew Olson from 97 through the game for Pep's Draft House Pizza, the official pizza of the Timeout Sports Lounge. When it comes to pizza, there is no other pizza quite like Pep's Prohibition Special. It starts with a combination of sweet and slightly spicy Italian sausage, pepperoni, mushrooms, yellow, green, and red peppers, and just the right amount of red onions. Real Wisconsin mozzarella, and it's finished off with fresh Italian seasoning. My gosh, that's the good stuff. Make your house a draft house with Pep's Prohibition Special Pizza.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Make 97.3 The Game your #1 preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
Third and 5, back to throw. Finn looking, pressured again, throws it deep to the left, and it's intercepted at the 10-yard line, and it's Preston Zachman again as he rolls to the turf at the 10-yard line of Wisconsin. Preston Zachman with 2 fourth-quarter interceptions. The shutout still intact with 5:05 remaining. Final score tonight, Wisconsin 17, Miami nothing.
And there you have it. Some highlights from a Thursday night. I don't know what day it is anymore.
Neither do I.
From a Thursday night at Camp Randall.
Don't.
And joining us now, the man himself, the voice of the Badgers, Matt Lepay. Matt, does it creep you out when Hunter plays those returns? Because I'm trying to think of what it would be like if someone was reading back an article that I wrote back in my writing days. I get a little skeevy.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I wish he would have played the other one where I gave the guy a touchdown when he stepped out of bounds. I still think he broke the plane of the goal line, though. Crappy spot. Preston Zachman had the first interception. He's in. He's got to be in. You see the official doing this, and then you see the official doing this. He slow plays. So, yeah. So thanks, Hunter, for playing the other one. I appreciate it. I owe you one.
You need Murph to argue your case. Get Murph out of the dugout.
There we go.
You know, you would think as long as baseball has been around, we would actually have a definition of what is and is not a check swing. But a story for another day.
Yeah, totally. A story for another day. Well, let's start with that defense that we saw, Matt.
Yeah.
We just played Billy Edwards' interview with the boys on No BS today, which was interesting. But that story to me is just the defense, and the revamped defense looks like it's going to be they're going to put up some resistance this year up front.
Yeah. I mean, they obviously they weren't playing, the best of the best on Thursday, but the quarterback from Miami is pretty good. When he was a star at Toledo, and he played well against some Power 4 programs. He was at Baylor last year. Wisconsin looked at him, and they considered him greatly. But DeQuan Finn, that's the kid's name, he ended up going to Baylor, and it didn't work out. He got banged up early. I say kid, he's 24. He's a 7th-year guy. But the Wisconsin defense made him look pretty ordinary, and he's not an ordinary talent. So kudos to the Badgers in that game. Miami was 0 for Thursday night in converting on third down, just a handful of first downs the entire game. So that was a check mark. The offense, on the other hand, offensive line, there were some issues there where that old line where you leave some meat on the bone. It looked like a couple times they had rhythm, but the drive would bog down. But they did what they had to do in the first game. They would have loved to have been flashier offensively, but I think even the alums, guys who watched the game, are saying, I like what they're trying to do. They're trying to get back to, playing the style of offense that Wisconsin was pretty good at when it was at its best.
I don't think you can say enough about Danny O'Neal, because when you're not QB1 and getting those reps to be thrown in a situation like that, and to keep the line moving the way he did, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was. And I think it helps that he has been a starter. In some ways, it might make it harder to be a backup, but he was a starter at San Diego State last year, coached by Sean Lewis, who was a former Badger. But, coming to Madison, he's from Indianapolis, so it's, obviously a little closer to home than San Diego. And then, they bring in Billy Edwards. So all of a sudden you're not going to be the starter. So, the reps during practice, it's obviously the lion's share is going to go to Edwards in week one. But yeah, I think part of that appears to me, and I'm not going to say I know O'Neal, but those who do, he's got the personality to kind of handle it. They use the word authentic with him. He's, I don't know if free spirit is the right way of putting it, but he seemed to handle the moment. He had the one bad pass, the end zone pick, got away with, maybe a throw or two, or one in particular that could have been intercepted and might have changed the complexion of the game. But I think under the circumstances, that old line about staying ready, it's really easy to say, not so easy to do, but this guy obviously did keep himself ready, and I thought under the circumstances performed pretty well.
KB, I want to add San Diego State to the list of schools that should be better in everything because of the atmosphere of that school and just the scenery. ASU should always win. So should San Diego State. I guess Hawaii is.
But ASU, you go down there, they're not necessarily interested in doing anything other than hanging out on Mill Avenue.
There's that. But I'm, good recruiting trips.
Who should be great in basketball every year is Pepperdine. Wisconsin's played out there a couple times. If you ever have a chance to go to that campus, but on the other hand, it's like KB was saying, like, why would you want to be inside playing?
Why do you want to have to work?
Well, that's true.
It's like, exactly. I got a question for you, man, because that's what the whole segment is about, us. But anyway, when you were watching the game, was there any player that surprised you or stood out, or even anyone who you didn't expect, to see on the field or making a contribution? Any surprises?
I would say somebody who made some plays. I won't say I'm real surprised because I watched him in camp, but fans haven't seen him. Chris Brooks. He's a redshirt junior receiver out of St. Louis. He had one career catch. That was last year in Nebraska, where his dad played back in the day. He had a couple catches in the game. The statistics are not gaudy, but the fact when you have one career catch and then you have two in on opening night, and he's well put together. He's one of those really good blocking wide receivers, which doesn't sound sexy, but for what they do, that's pretty important. And another guy, again, not a surprise to me, KB, but fans don't know him because of the world we're in with the transfer portal, is Mason Reiger. An edge player from Louisville, had some really big games for the Cardinals when he was there. Didn't play last year because of injury, and he got out there and he disrupted things. I'm not saying he was Micah Parsons disruptor, but he came in and made some plays, and he's someone I know the coaching staff is really high on. So those are names. Brooks has been here all along, but fans aren't going to know much about him. Maybe they'll know a little bit more now. And Mason Reiger on the defensive side, one of the transfer portal guys, came in and played really well.
What's the outlook, Matt, for Tucker Ashcraft? Because there's a guy that, that quarterbacks will want to be playing and be healthy.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, when they say week to week, that's not always the most promising thing. He was hurt in a training camp practice. Now we're going back at least 2+ weeks ago. So he's not in the depth this week, but hopefully a guy like that will get back into the mix, certainly by the time Big Ten play. But I don't know the timetable with him, but he is somebody that the tight end position, Grant Steck, I don't know if we mentioned him last week or not. He's somebody who really highly regarded coming out of the western suburbs of Chicago, redshirt freshman. He was pretty impressive last week, but you want to build off of that. You want to get a guy like Tucker Ashcraft and get some depth in that room and some productivity. So when he comes back, whenever that is, if that's later this month or whenever it is, that'll be a big boost to the offense.
Yeah, security blanket of the tight end is going to,
yes.
Like second down and long or third down, like that's
Yes.
They need that. They definitely need that. Matt, looking ahead, Middle Tennessee struggled a little bit in their opener. Also didn't convert a third down, so we got that trend to see if we can continue, right?
Yeah. They lost to Austin P, which is an FCS, what we used to refer to as Division I AA. Derek Mason is their coach. He's been around a long time. He was, among other things, he was on the Stanford staff when the Cardinal beat Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl game going back 12, 13 years ago now. He's in his second year there. Murfreesboro, Tennessee is where Middle Tennessee State is located, a little southeast of Nashville. Oddly enough, in the center of the state of Tennessee, hence the name. But they actually, in portal world, they've lost a ton of guys, but their quarterback has been around a while, third-year starter. But last week, I was looking back this weekend at their game, a lot of drops, a lot of self-inflicted. But it's one of those, again, I think with Fickle, with their whole mindset here, they're saying, well, like who are we, meaning they, Wisconsin, to think that you could just show up. So and Fickle had actually admitted it today, and I've noticed this through the years with coaches, not just him, that when you have a game such as this, knowing what follows, this is when coaches can be particularly irritable. So I think, it behooves these guys to have a good week of practice and perform well on Saturday, because these are the kind of games where I've said it doesn't matter if it's football or basketball. A game such as this, knowing how everyone expects it to turn out, this is when the irritable meter, let's put it that way for family listening, that's when it goes up a few notches.
Well, I think they're a little irritable in Tuscaloosa these days as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I always say with college football, it's regular season, 12 weeks of final judgments. And, Kalen DeBoer is all of a sudden taking stupid pills after taking Washington to the national championship game a couple of years ago. But when you're 5-5 in your last 10 games at Alabama, and that's what they've been, it's, well, we sure do miss us and Coach Saban. To me, part of the story, and obviously that's a huge story in Tuscaloosa, but Florida State 2 years ago,
they were there,
a playoff team, but their quarterback gets hurt. They were undefeated. Quarterback gets hurt. They win the ACC championship, and then this was the 4-team playoff. They were knocked out. This would be like the Brewers with their record, and Yelich gets hurt at the end of the season, where the Major League Baseball playoff selection committee said, yeah, you're deserving, but we don't think you're going to be a very good TV show because your star player's out. So, yeah, you're eliminated.
Oh, we went through that, didn't we? We know how that turns out.
Yeah. But anyway, that was so. Now the question with Florida State went from a team that should have been in the playoff 2 years ago to a 2-win team last year. And that's part of the funky nature of, maybe you pour more resources in, you score well in the portal, whatever, but the brand itself is so big that maybe that was truly a blip and they're going to be really good again. So it'll be interesting to track that team moving forward.
I wonder what their week of practice is like, because the noise is at 11 for the kids. Everybody's, the Paul Feinbaum show is just, I think it's 20 hours a day now.
Yeah, he was the guy who had Texas having no problem beating Ohio State, and that turned into a Woody Hayes kind of game, Bo Schembechler kind of game, 14-7. So now Hot Take Paul is probably on the bandwagon to go fire Kalen DeBoer. So I had somebody guys tell me this when I was filling in with the Brewers, and they were going through a good year, tough stretch. And somebody said, "Hey, Matty, hang on, man. This crowd, this fan base, you watch out." It was all I could do to keep from laughing, because college football fans are insane. And relatively speaking, it's mild at Wisconsin. Relatively speaking.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But it's still like every school has the best stadium, the best band, the best uniforms, the crappiest play caller, of course, whatever, just how it works. But the fervor of the college sports fan and football in particular, and you could say with basketball and a lot of it's off the hook. I mean, we're living this with the Brewers because they're so good right now. There's probably too much living and dying, in my opinion, game to game. But the college world, it's like, woo. It's, that's why it's really popular. I guess why the Pop-Tarts Bowl had almost 7 million viewers last December.
That's right. I don't remember any Brewers fans poisoning a historic tree.
No.
Yeah, exactly. A tumor's corner. I mean, it's just
but
the fervor.
But I would spill stuff around the Cubby Bear.
Yeah, you would. Of course you would.
Which you might get that chance again in the
just for kicks.
Right.
I would knock things over and make a mess.
That is right.
Have you noticed on your show, guys, that as much as the council bashing is going on right now, that I've run across a lot of fans who want nothing to do with playing the Cubs in the postseason. I say, bring it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Bring it and let them
champions fear no one.
Let them start Aaron Savali, whose 3 shutout innings yesterday was a mirage. Let them start
Winning
him.
a title is hard. You got to embrace the agony. Let's go.
Exactly. Hey, Matt, on the way out, we always talk about, and when we talk to Patrick Herb, we'll mention this, but you can have a good night in sports and still lose the game. Obviously, the Badgers won the game, but how was everything else? Jump around looked cool. Everything, like in terms of operation, everything seemed like pretty smooth, wasn't it?
Yeah, it seemed to be. I was talking to somebody about that today because I can only pay attention to so much. I said, how did it go? I said, it was really, it seemed like it was pretty good. I know the attendance was lower than what it usually is, for an opening game, but you're announcing 65,000. They use their new toys with the LED lights, and the players got into it more. So that's a part of the college game that hopefully will never change, as much as everything else is changing or has already. There's still the pageantry of it, and there's still an appeal, to go into the stadium. So that was a good first night, I think, for him in that regard.
That's cool. Matt, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Have a great week.
Thanks,
All
Matt.
right, boys, take care. Have a good one.
All right. Matt Lepay joining us here on the program, the voice of the Badgers. Hey, Packers fans, we got a party for you. It starts 3.5 hours before the game on Sunday. The Resch Expo Plaza Pit Stop with iHeartMedia. It's free. No ticket required. Food, drinks, bands, special features like the Bloody Mary Bar, Cheap Shots Bar, the Tipsy Tapper Beer Trailer, sampling stations, and much more. Located right across from Lambeau in front of the Resch Expo. The Plaza Pit Stop's your game day party headquarters all season long, and we will see you there on Sunday right about noon or so. Should be awesome. All right, closing ceremonies approaching in the Timeout Sports Lounge. Drew and KB statewide on the game.
Now you wake up in the dawn of the day. I'm coming to get ya. I'm coming to get ya. Spitting out lyrics, homie, I want ya. I came to get down.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Packers edge rusher Micah Parsons is expected to get an epidural and play in the season opener against Detroit while dealing with a sprained back. Wisconsin coach Luke Fickell says quarterback Billy Edwards will miss this week's game against Middle Tennessee State with a sprained knee. And longtime college basketball coach and Hall of Famer George Raveling has died at age 88 after a battle with cancer. I'm Frank Garrity.
Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Find it behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
I'm defense attorney Tom Grieve. Charged with an OWI, it's not just a ticket. It's on your record permanently and can affect your career or your ability to travel. One mistake shouldn't ruin your life. Contact Grieve Law for your OWI defense. GrieveLaw.com.
You're not just tired, you're drained. Dragging yourself out of bed, powering through work with caffeine, skipping workouts, zoning out at home. That 6 to 10 o'clock evening window, it used to be your time. Now you're barely holding on. Lower energy, poor sleep, no drive. If that sounds like you, it might be low testosterone, and you're not alone. It's Drew Olson from 97 Through the Game, and I was in that exact spot with less gas in the tank. I got tested at Game Day Men's Health, and it changed everything. I've been amazed at the level of service I've received at Game Day and how quick the treatments are. It's part of my routine now. You can make it part of yours. They are looking to help you at Game Day Men's Health. It's fast, it's simple, and it's built for guys on the go. Like no waiting rooms, no awkward questions, just a free T-level test and real solutions that work. You've got a life to live. Don't waste it on the couch. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com and book your free testosterone test today. Game Day Men's Health. Get into one of the 5 area locations, get results, and get back in the game.
Step into American Place Casino, where the excitement never ends. Located in Waukegan, Illinois, just a short drive from Milwaukee. Over 900 slot machines, your favorite table games, 4 restaurants, live entertainment, and now our brand new poker room. Plus, we're proud to be the friendliest casino around with service that sets us apart. Whether you're here to hit the jackpot, catch a game, or just have an unforgettable night out, American Place Casino has it all. American Place Casino. Closer than you think. Friendlier than you expect. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling, and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537.
If you or a loved one needs a personal injury attorney, ask around. Lawyers, judges, law enforcement officers, insurance adjusters, refer Warshevsky because we achieve maximum judgments and settlements. Their ordeal, their injury is about the money. Warshevsky.com.
KB, let's talk about your neck of the woods, up north.
The North. Supper clubs, campfires, and North Brandy from our friends at Central Standard.
Central Standard's North Brandy is aged for over 2 years in fire-kissed oak barrels, then finished in bourbon barrels, which mellows the brandy to a sweet and unrivaled smoothness.
Perfectly balanced and aged.
North Brandy from Central Standard Craft Distillery, locally made brandy from the state that consumes the most brandy.
Available at retailers and supper clubs all over Wisconsin.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale. Now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Our favorite 4-letter word. Free. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
It's time to close up shop in the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge, thecentralstandard.com. The best spirits you're going to find, award-winning and delicious. It's never too late to enjoy a Door County Cherry Vodka. Bourbon never goes out of season, but the Door County Cherry Vodka, Guided Trail Gin, good stuff in the summer on the patio. The rooftop at the Craft House and Kitchen, the
Really, that
aviary
doesn't go out of season either.
is amazing. I will be visiting our friends before the show tomorrow. I'll be visiting our friends at Game Day Men's Health in Brookfield. We were there last week. It was a lot of fun. I hope a lot of folks are taking advantage of the free no obligation T-test, which is there for you. Just go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com, find a clinic near you. Brookfield, Delafield, Shorewood, Hales Corners. They're all over the place. Madison, they're everywhere we broadcast. You can probably find a Game Day Men's Health near you. Schedule that T-test and that consult. You're in and out in about 45 minutes, and you can find out whether they can change your life, because that's what they do at Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. It is time for One for the Road, where we pour our drinks into a solo cup and head into the evening. And this was a busy show. I love it when we get to talk to Wayne Larrivee and Matt Lepay, the voices of the teams that we love the most when it comes to football. And had a spirited round of buying and selling. Shout out to Urchel Real Estate Group. KB, what is in your cup today? What are you taking home today?
What I'm taking home today is the fact that, and it was our most recent discussion, that that with the transfer portal and watching what I watched this weekend and basically being shocked by seeing Carson Beck under center for Miami, I think that college football, unless they, or even anything in college, and they're not going to fix it. I know I'm just barking up the wrong tree, but that with all the transfers and NIL, competition may be strong, maybe better, but I don't think it's making college football a better game. I think it's taking some of the, the pageantry, it doesn't sit well with me. That's all I can say.
You know what doesn't sit well with Hunter? No Brewers game today. Though he'll enjoy a day off.
It's take a breath.
Take a breath and get back at it tomorrow night, 6:40 start. Tomorrow we'll talk to Bill Schroeder on the program. But yeah, it's going to be weird, and it's kind of sucks that they have this much needed day off, but they got to sit and stew on 2 lackluster performances on Sunday and Monday. But back at it tomorrow. It's a new day, and you can just root against the Cubs tonight if you need a baseball fix.
Indeed.
We will see you tomorrow at 3. Adam Pavlock, Hot Take, Hump Day, Bill Schroeder. Going to be a blast.
Make good choices.